Check, check. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back. Welcome back to the channel. Yes, another X-Plane 12 stream. I don't know if I've fallen back in love with it yet, Pilot Unknown. I don't know if I've fallen back in love with it yet, but we do have some more mods today. We've got X World, and we also have X Vegetation set up for today's flight. And we are going to do some real takeoff data performance testing from a takeoff that I did 2 days ago out of this exact airport, Cayamayagua. It's the new Honduras, essentially. The new Honduras airport. We're sitting here on the ramp. It is 6 a.m. I do have my weather custom set to match exactly my historical weather. The reason I'm not doing historical weather is because we took off at like noon, midday, and midday is just mid. So I wound the sim time back to have a nice sunrise this morning, but it is 34 degrees C on the ramp. Winds are 350 at 7. Altimeter is light, pressure 3007, and we're going to load up this airplane just as we loaded it up the other day, and we're going to see what kind of numbers the airplane spits out, and we're going to give this another takeoff test. We've got a couple factors. I've got some images I'll be able to show you once we get this thing fired up. Also, do have to go get my medical today, so we don't want to dilly-dally too much. I'm going to, after the stream, I'm going to head over and go get my medical done, so after that gets all set up, we should be good. Crazy Italian, did I check the engines? I didn't turn them on and start, but I hope they work. I got rid of the Gizmo plugin, so guess Gizmo 64 screws stuff up. That's because I installed the IXEG. IXEG, dead to me. Uninstalled, deleted. See ya. Adios. Hasta la vista. We're never going to see that airplane again on this channel. It's abandonware, and it just bugs up the sim with the Gizmo. So hopefully that will fix this issue, and we should have a good flight today. So we do have Nimbus Miami that we're flying into, which should be pretty juicy when we get up there. So no failures today, hopefully, Zach. Jeremy Harvey, good to see you, man. You swear you wouldn't install mods, but you relented. Well, it's a little at a time, Jeremy. Little at a time. We're gonna see. I'm not completely sold yet, Jeremy. I'm not completely sold yet, but let's see what happens. A little at a time here with the mods. There's something about the level up that just, it's I don't know. That keeps drawing me back. Something with this level up. All right. So do we have proper flight controls today, sir? We're going to sure find out, JJ. I hope so, my man. Carlito's in the house. What's up? Good to see you, man. We're going to skip a lot of the shout-outs because, like I said, I don't want to dilly-dally too much. I am a little bit on of a time. I'm not on a time crunch, but we are on a schedule. All right. So let's get this airplane fired up, and then I'm going to load it up, and then I'm going to show you guys. We're going to cross-reference the takeoff data and the weights and loads that we're going to put on this aircraft today. I was going to a different destination, but we should still be fine if we're going to Miami. The flight I did was like 4.5 hours long, so we're not doing that. We're just going to cut it short. We're going to go into Miami on this particular flight, but we'll load the airplane the exact same 800 with winglets. And what I love about this livery, and I sorely miss on the PMDG American bare metals that we have, is I love the AA.com winglets. I think that's the best winglet right there. So classic, man. Classic look on that winglet. So here we are in the jet. Let's go ahead and fire up this beautiful thing. We'll take it from the top. Let's get the battery switch on. Let's get the ground power on. Let's go ahead and get the panel lights. Let's get the circuit breaker lights. Let's set up our background, main panel lighting. Oh, yeah, juice up this cockpit. It is looking good today, chat. It is looking good. Airplane is coming to life. Let's go ahead and go up top. We'll let the screens come to life here for a second. We'll uncage this sucker. Oh, we can't. It's not even spooled up yet. Excellent. So while we wait for it to boot up, let's go ahead and take it from the top. Then we're going to skip the exterior pre-flight. The FO is going to go ahead and hop on the walk around right now. We're testing up top. Everything looks good. Dome light. Ooh, bright, dim. Ooh, that's nice. We'll do a little dim dome light this morning. That sounds good. We got 3 greens, oxygen, Mach airspeed. Stall warning, not going to work. We got to give it a couple minutes. Okay, it's an old block one. That's fine. Can we get the yaw damp? Yeah, we got the yaw damp. Nothing, no APU running. We'll leave the fuel tank pumps off. Everything looks good here. We're on ground power. We'll put you at the 12 o'clock position. We'll put you on the battery bus for right now. That looks good. Emergency exit lights, arm chime light will come on. This all looks good. We do have the auto switches today. Captain's flying. Ignition left. Window heats 1, 2, 3, 4 coming on. Probe heat, aspirated TAT switches. That looks good. Hydraulics. Can't test that. I guess we could do a quick hydraulic test here. We'll come down, take a look at the systems, make sure we are juicing up. Yeah, buddy. All right, there we go. We do have hydraulic pressure. Those are coming back off. Altitude horn cutout looks good. Up top, trim air switch is coming on. Auto auto APU bleed off, and that is open. Cruise altitude today, we're starting out at 350. Landing Miami is 0 feet. We're in the auto mode. Let's get the logo light on and the position light on. We'll clear the caution. Coming across the EFIS FCU, master left, auto throttle arm, flight director right. I tell you what, should we change this to the new panel? Nah, that's fine. We'll leave it on the old panel. That's fine. FMC testing. Lights. Test. Oh yeah, absolutely love it. I gotta get my RTR panel working with X-Plane 12. I gotta get the panel working with X-Plane 12 here. All right, get that. That's a nice animation in there too. That ADI reset back to rate. RTO is selected. We will be doing a flaps 5. And bleeds off again today, so we'll be taking a look at that. Hopefully that won't screw it up. FMC, park brake is set. Let's do a fire test. Excellent. Bottles. Excellent. Cargo fire. Excellent. We'll squawk 2000. No ATC on today. Squawking 2000. TARA. That looks good. HUD is going to be in op. All right. Excellent. With that set up, let's go over here and let me set up the fuel. I'm going to set up the payload for our final loads, and then I'll see if I can show you these images. I'll show you that I have. So first and foremost, the fuel that we had for takeoff was 25,411. 25, and we're going to burn a little bit. So let's go 25,450 because we're going to get the APU running. So 25,450. Excellent. The payload we need today, we're going to add 30,800 plus 6,200, so that's 37,000 pounds of payload. And actually, we could put cargo weight. I don't know if it was forward or aft, because I've got the cargo weight and passenger weight separate, but we'll just do a total payload. We'll let it balance it out. Cargo weight, what did I say? 37,000. Let's make it exact. 37,008 pounds. All right. So that's going to load up. It's putting 1,100 in the cargo. So we had 30,000 passengers weight, and we had 6,200 cargo weight. I guess it's going to do its own thing here. All right, that's going to put us at a takeoff weight of 156, and we were 157.3. So we are pretty close, actually. So what I'm going to do is let's add a little more. What was that takeoff weight? 156.9, and we were 157.3. Wow, we're only like 400 pounds off. That's really good. So let's add 1140. Let's make it 1540. All right. That gives us a takeoff weight of 157,385. Oh my gosh, chat, we're within 50 pounds and we're going to burn some gas. So let me see if I can show you what I'm looking at here. I know I can. I just got to do this. Open up the images for you. So this will be kind of cool. And actually, you know what? Hold that thought. We'll come back to that. I'll show you that. Let's get everything loaded up so that way we can, while we wait, we'll call the fuel truck. And while we wait, we'll look at the actual takeoff numbers. I'll explain to you what we're looking at from a crew standpoint with our takeoff numbers. Be kind of cool. Okay, so let's go pause the knit. Let's get the aircraft loaded up. GPS position left, the route page. We are going to be American 357. Why am I using my mouse? Oops. We're going to be going from MHPR to Miami, Gateway of the Americas. All right, departure, runway 35 today, RT1 Delta. Route, activate, execute. Let's see, I pasted the route somewhere here too. There it is. Let's see. Next page. After Arita, Upper Bravo 753. And this is the departure where literally on takeoff he said go direct Belize. We're like, yeah, not happening. I don't think we have Belize in our SimBrief flight plan today. But Upper Bravo 753 to SAP, Upper Gulf 521. out to Amida. A-M-I-D-A. Amida. We'll execute that for now. Let's see what's after that. Pepso, Emovi, and Maxim. Okay, so we got a couple more. We're going to go direct here soon. Pepso. Direct to Pepso. Direct to Emovi. Execute those two. I like to kind of execute as I go through. That way if I screw up, I don't have to redo the whole thing. Upper Gulf 765. And then that's going to take us all the way to Maxim for the Sandbar 3 arrival. Alright, execute departure arrival Miami. We're going to plan the ILS Zulu 9er from Leg. We're coming down the Sandbar 3, Maxim transition, execute. Beautiful. We do have engine out procedures that we would put in the route too, but we're not going to do that because it's not in the database in X-Plane. So that is set. Let's see, zero fuel weight is going to be 131,922. Actually, we should put what the aircraft zero fuel says. So let's go to here, payload. The zero fuel weight is going to be 132.4. Hey, that's close enough. Within 1,000 pounds, 132.4. All right, and we're going to let it fuel up. We're going to have a reserves of 9,000. We're going to go cost index 88. And cruise altitude initially 350. Transition altitude is 19.5. Execute that. N1, and let's go to, what are we doing? We're doing a 26K. Let me look at my takeoff data. We are planning a 26K dry, bleeds off, flap 5. And the outside air temp is 3.4. So we're going to lock it in at 34. Actually, hold on. Delete that. No, that's right. That's fine. 34, 26K, climb 1, no second to rate. Planning a flaps 5. Now, our aircraft, our actual CG that we got was 22.4. What is the airplane going to give us? 17.8. That's interesting. Trim 6.0. We actually had a trim of 577 and a takeoff CG of 22.4. We're going to wait for that fueling to complete here. 22.9, 23, a couple more 1,000 pounds to go. And we'll verify that data with our numbers. But with takeoff, we had a flaps. We're doing a bleed off takeoff. It's going to be speeds of 42, 46, and 52. So within 1 knot, pretty much, of all of those QRH V speeds, which is pretty crazy. The acceleration altitude is 1560 EO. And let's see, we were improved performance on this departure too. So yeah, we're gonna do 1500 all the way around. 1500, 1500, 1500. And 42, 46, 52. This is we might have to come back and revisit our CG here. 146 and 152. So, all right. So, those are set up. Now, let's go ahead and let's get the center tank pump and let's get the APU cooking here. Migs, my man, thank you for the 7 Canadian. I appreciate you. So speaking of American, I'm sure you heard about the ATC incident with 2 AA flights with identical flight numbers in Phoenix. I saw something about that, but I don't know where that came from. I have no idea. That's interesting. Vodka, you ready to go? Well, I don't even see you, man. Where you at? Why don't you move the cargo aft to move the CG back a little bit? I guess we could. I could mess with it. I'm trying to get these images up here for a second. Can you run the APU fuel pump while fueling? Yes. Yes, you can. Alright, so love that sound. APU's up and running. Let's get the chronometer on. We'll wait for that. Okay, so while we look at the weights, let me show you what we had here. Alright. So this is kind of cool. You're not going to be able to see my mouse cursor, though. Why can't you see my mouse cursor? Hold on. Yeah, you can't see my mouse cursor. Can you guys read that? Hold on, I got a better idea. Now we'll be able to see my mouse cursor, I think. Yeah. Alright. So I'm going to show you a couple different images. This is what we're going to be dealing with today. So you can see here we were departing XPL, the pressure altitude. We are planning for 34 degrees Celsius. Our temperature has to be within 2 degrees of that. If it's not, the auto throttle will actually kick off. This is our planned takeoff weight, 158.4. Zero fuel weight. These are planned numbers. I'm going to show you final numbers, but these are planned numbers. This is what we're planning for. We're planning a zero fuel 133.0, 25.7, and then we get to the takeoff performance. We have two options, bleed on, bleed off. Takeoff weight CG is 22.4, planning 3.5, flaps 5. The actual numbers here are calling for bleed off. So for bleed off, we're looking for an N1 of 100.5, and then our associated V speeds. Now again, remember these speeds are accurate, but everything else is planned. I'm going to show you the final here in a minute. So we've set up our aircraft 3.5. What is our N1 actually showing? Right now it's showing 99. Let's see here. I bet we can trick it. So right now our N1 is showing 99.8 because guess what? Our bleeds are on. If we come up top and turn the APU bleeds off, 100.5 on the N1, which is crazy because that is exactly what we were showing right here, 100.5 with the bleeds off. All right, so that is 100% accurate. We're going to come back up top here and we'll turn the bleeds back on. We'll get the APU bleed on, get some air on in here, start cooling down the aircraft. Fueling is complete. We'll get the seatbelt sign on too, put the APU on the bus, get these on. We'll continue our little briefing here for a minute. Okay, so that is 100% accurate within one. That was that's pretty cool. Continuing on, this is some max improvements. Now these are what we're going to be testing. So our actual trim that we set was 5.77 units. So the trim that the airplane is calling for is 6.06. But if I put the CG of 22.4, what is it going to give me? 537. It's even closer. That's interesting. So what I did here is I went down to the box. I put in our trim from the paperwork, 22.4. But I don't want to do that because the airplane is giving us our own trim value of 6.06. Again, Zibo, the way it's loading with the Zibo, I'm not sure. I'm not sure the technicalities on how the level up is calculating trim and CG. But what I can tell you is we're probably going to have to add to that, or we can try to actually move our weight around. So let me see. If I take 500 pounds out of here, let's go 1,000 and let's go 540 here. What is that going to do to our CG? 18.4. Go to page 4, add some weight to the galleys. Well, let's keep moving the cargo weight around. Let's take another. Let's take 300 pounds out of here. So this will be 700, and this will be 840. All right, that's going to move us to 19.1 CG. Okay, that's good that we're getting closer. So now let's go to page 4. Forward and aft galley, or for F flight attendants, and then aft galley is 903. Let's take 200 pounds out of this. Let's make this 430.5, and let's make this 1103.9. And now if I update it, it's 20.0 on the CG, which is getting pretty dang close. Make the aft galley what was our actual CG for closeout? Our actual CG was 22.4. So we only need to move it 2 more. Let's take 300 out of this. So let's make you nope. Shoot, what was it? 100, and let's make this 1403. 21.5. Let's add more. Let's make it 1600. 22.0 on the trim, and we were 22.4. Dang, that's really close. Let's move a tiny bit of cargo. Let's go 600 and 940. And that puts us at 22.2, which is within 0.2 of our CG. So that's crazy. So we've modified it now. And now what I'm going to... Oh, man, I still don't know what I should do. I don't know if I should add +1 or not. Okay, so let's talk over some more of this real quick before we get going. All right, so remember, these are all planned numbers. 100.5, we know that matches exactly. We're going to do a bleeds off of flaps 5 takeoff. We've got our V speeds here. These are some things I noted. So engine 2 was 930 ITT on the takeoff roll. It was almost at the red line. It was cooking. It was roughly, I didn't get a good time, but I'd say it was roughly 70 seconds from when we started our takeoff roll to 1,000 foot. Winds were 350 at 7, 34 degrees Celsius, 3002 on the meter. Now, everyone always asks, where do you get the acceleration altitudes and stuff from? That's going to be stuff that your company is going to, every operator has them, but that's where it says special engine failures exist for all runways. So then we would check in our own proprietary charts, and we would load up our engine out procedures. So that's what that big note is from. That's how you know it. That's something that SimBrief doesn't simulate. It's kind of impossible for them to simulate because every airline is going to have a different operation. But that's where we get the note. It says, hey, dummy, make sure you know what the situation is coming out of this airport. You have a structural weight limit of 174.2, but our max takeoff weight for max improvement was actually 159.7, and we're planning a 158.4 takeoff. So we are very, very close. If we didn't have the improved performance package, we would not be able to take off because it would actually be below our normal weight. Now, spoiler alert, we actually closed out at just a little bit lighter than this because, again, these are planned numbers. We would have been all right, but we were really pushing it. We were pushing the NG to the limit. Here's some more additional information. So we're doing a flaps 5 takeoff. Engine out, acceleration altitude, you can see I kind of cut it off there, is 1,500 feet. And then if we have bleed off configuration, which we do, our climb limiting weight, temperature limiting weight, and for runway 35 limiting weights. But these aren't improved performance package, so kind of not wasted, but not applicable to this particular departure. All right, so that is our plan. Now, when we get to our actual closeout, we'll go over that here in a minute. So let's go ahead and finish everything else. Everything is done up top. I don't think we need the dome light anymore. We'll turn the dome light off. Let's go ahead and set our V2 speed of 152. 152 will be LNAV, VNAV off the ground up to 10,000. Runway heading is 35. What was runway heading? Let me get my chart up. 351. 351 set. 351 up to 10,000. We'll get the FO side. 351. current altimeter is 3007. 3007 is set, and we got to set a baro min of, what was it? 3560. Remember, we got that from the chart. 3560 is our cleanup. 3560. Yo. Wow, that's fast. 3560 is set. All right, excellent. We'll get terrain mode on. And let's go ahead and run over this real quick. Now, I'm actually curious if we leave the trim at 5.4. Let's leave it at 5.4. Let's see what happens on this takeoff. I would technically use 1, but yeah, you can use historic weather to match. I know, but then it would be middle of the day and it'd be super mid. We already set the weather to match. I set the weather manually, and I just set the time back to 6 a.m. So it's also getting real hot here. So the bleeds are on. Everything is good. All right, let's do a quick route legs review, then we're blasting off. So let's see. We're going from Honduras to Miami. RT1 Delta, Arita, Upper Bravo 753, SAP, Upper Gulf 521, Amida, Direct Pepso, Direct Emovi, Upper Gulf 765 to Maxime for the Sandbar 3. Moving over to the legs page. Put you in plan mode. Let's go ahead. We're going to start out with first fix at above 2,900 feet, PR 703 above 8, Arita above 10, SAP, Corti, Kairap, Amida, Pepso, Emovi, Maxime, J-Box, Split, or Slipped. Conch, that's on the arrival. We don't need to do that. Route distance, 852 miles. We plan for 877 miles. That's within limits. That checks. So we would actually come in here and do a route copy. Put our engine out would be a number 2, but again, we don't have that information. So that's all set. Moving over to performance, let's verify this. Zero fuel, 132.4, reserves 9, cost index 88, climbing up to flight level 350. Trans altitude is 19.5. We got a 26K motor. It's 34 outside. Climb 1. There's no second to rake. Takeoff page. We're planning flaps 5. Full length off runway 35. We have speeds 42, 46, and 52. Verify it's set. It is set. Trim is 22.2%, which is 5.4 units. We set that. And bleeds, we're looking for 100.5 with the bleeds off. That checks. All right. Performance checklist. Performance review is complete. And let's go ahead and close up shop and get out of here. So ground ceviches, let's remove the chocks. Let's go to doors. Let's go ahead and pull those. Let's close that. Let's disconnect the GPU. Let's go Shift G. Let's detach the jetway. And let's do a before start checklist, please. All right, before start, parking brake set. Oxygen is checked. Navigation transfer display switches, normal auto, window heat is on. Pressurization, auto and set. Terrain display selected. MCP, I'm flying. You're coming with me up to 10,351
All right,
set.
we've got everyone strapped in. Give us a ring if you need anything.
Sounds good. Displays, armed, LNAV, VNAV. We got a baro checked. Auto brake, RTO. Fuel quantity distribution is 25.4 on board and checked. CDU checked. Engine start levers, cutoff. Transponder, TARA, aileron rudder trim, 0, 0. Departure brief complete. Fasten belts. They're on. APUs on the buses. Fuel panel set. Flight forms AML onboard accepted aircraft. What are we in? We got an aircraft tail number? We don't have one in here. Whatever this thing is. PEDs are off. All right, let's go ahead and get ready to start. Below the line. Actually, we got to call ramp control. We're going to push back just like they pushed us the other day. That's default script for the jetway.
Grounded cockpit, plan
Default.
acknowledged. Call me through the menu
Here's the
when
thing,
you are
though.
ready.
It wasn't bound. It wasn't bound, though. So I had to bind it myself, which I find interesting. All right, we're all set here. Let's go ahead and start the pushback. And Kaimoga traffic, American 357, pushing back gate 1. All right. Start
Grounded cockpit, tow is driving up.
All right, below the line. Boom, boom. Why is that dome light on? Oh, it's the aisle stand light. That's what it is. Hydraulics. They're coming on. And doors, windows. Boom. Everything's closed up. We are ready to go. Turn that floodlight off. Alright, below the line, please. Prop heat is on. Hydraulic panel set. That's interesting. We have the glide slope low flag there. Doors, windows, closed and locked. Anti-collision light is on. The 4-star checklist is complete. We'll wait for them to call us. Let's go over here to options.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Where's the backup switches? I want my ISIS. Analog standby. Nope. There we go. Let's quiet it up a little bit. There we go. Much better. Standing by, ready for push.
Tow connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Brakes release, clear to push.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Ah, the chocks are still on though. I think. Are they? No. Birds! We have birds. Alright, so now, after we start up, we'll go ahead and go over our closeout, which I have. It's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and start them up. Let's go ahead and start 2. Alright. Turning engine 2.
We're here for your safety and comfort. Please report any conflict behavior to a flight attendant. Welcome aboard.
There's 24, 25% fuel on. After we take off, I will go ahead and go to live time, live weather. But I wanted to keep it all exactly the same and not take off at midday because that's mid. I know the wing bounce on the pushback, I love it. PMDG does that too though. Alright, EGT light goes out. We got a good start on 2, so let's go ahead and isolate, ventilate the cabin. Gen 2 is online, and let's go ahead and start engine 1. There we go, grounding 1. Gosh, I love this view right here, this engine model. It's so good.
Operation complete. Go ahead and set the parking brake. Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Iglufu, you should be able to change the FMS in the settings. FMS, you can change what type of FMS, fans 1 or 2. Disconnect hand signals out front. Alright, so we got a good start on 1, so let's just go ahead and reset that. We're going to do a couple other things. APU is going to stay on, and we're going to configure for bleeds off takeoff. So to configure for bleeds off, we're going to go left pack is in auto, isolation valve is
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the left. We'll see you next time and have fun up there.
Isolation valve closed, excuse me. That's why you don't do it from memory. Alright, isolation valves closed. Left and right pack are an auto. Bleeds are off. We are configured for bleeds off. Verify the trim air and anti-switches are off. All right, TPS is calling for 5. I'm showing 5. Set flaps 5. There's our pin and hand signal out front. Why would we keep the APU on? Because we have to for performance on this departure. With the bleeds on, we cannot take off. We are too heavy. All right, flaps 5. Let's go ahead and do a recall. Flight controls. All right, checked. After start checklist, please. Anti-ice. That is off. Generators on. Air conditioning bleeds. Set for bleeds off takeoff. Flaps set. Flight controls checked. Recall checked. After start checklist is complete. Now, we're going to look at our closeout. We're going to do an actual closeout brief. You guys hear me talk about the closeout. And let me get this up so we can find the best way that I can show you everything that we're comparing here. So I'm going to come down here, look at my box, and let me change this and you can see my mouse cursor on the photo. I think this will be the right photo. Yes. All right, so now that document I was showing you first, that was our preliminary, right? That was our preliminary loading configuration. Now, after we start engines, or not really, after we push back, sometimes before we start engines, sometimes after, we get our final closeout numbers. So right now, we grossed out at 157.3. If I go to my init, I can verify our zero fuel 131.9. Our zero fuel here is a little bit off, but that's because we had a mess. We had to add a little bit of weight on the level up to match exactly on the CG. So in real life, we would make sure it matches exactly, and I can update it here. We're 32.6. Execute that. Just verified it does match. Okay. So real life, we would either have to update it, but this would update in the box automatically. Now, all we really care about is we're going to go over to our N1 page, and we're going to verify our information. So our planned weight, you can see I wrote down our planned weight was 158.4. Our maximum improved performance weight that we could legally take off with was 159.7. We grossed out at 157.7, and look at our takeoff weight here at the FMC. It's actually exactly what I was pretty much showing. We're going to probably burn those 200 pounds before we take off. 157.9. So the first thing I'm verifying is we're below our max and below our planned, or if we're above planned, we got to still be below our max. So we're below our max, 157.9. That checks. N1s. We were calling for 100.5. The jet was giving us 100.6 after we started up. That's within limits. We can take off within 0.5 of the N1. So also HDW means we have a headwind that I verified the current winds. We got a headwind. Just some other miscellaneous information. RA is restricted, so any type of hazmat. This is our CG 22.4. Look at our airplane right now at 22.2. Here's our passenger load, total souls on board, passenger weight, cargo weight, EOW. So that's our closeout. So an actual closeout brief, when I read the checklist, what is our closeout? It's going to sound like this. We grossed out at 157.8. We're above planned we're below plan of 158.4 and still below our max of 159.7. N1's match within 0.5, 100.5, 100.6. We got a headwind off runway 35. Temperatures within 2 degrees of TPS. All right, closeout brief is complete. We verified our takeoff data. And since it's a short taxi, let's go ahead and do the before takeoff checklist. Before takeoff to the line. Takeoff data and bugs, we just verified it. Closeout received and checked. Flaps, 5, green light. Stab trim, 5.4 set. Takeoff brief, complete. HUD, in-op, generators, on. Air conditioning bleeds, set for bleeds off. Before takeoff checklist to the line, complete. All right, let's go. And American traffic, American 357, taxi 35. Oh, it's hot and heavy. Migs, thanks you for the 7 Canadian. Appreciate you. Just in case, in chat, explain a few minutes of the CG calculation issue that has been identified and there is a way forward. Excellent, my man. Excellent. Again, we were messing with the CG manually today because I wanted to try to match it up with the airplane. We'll see how it feels. Now, I will say, real world, when we did this takeoff, that runway end was getting very close very soon. It felt like we were eating up a whole lot of runway. Giles Roland, what's up, man? How's it going? It's been a while. How you been, my friend? Yeah, we don't have the engine bug today. That's good. Thanks for the €5 super sticker, man. Appreciate you. So my trees look a little bit sparse out there off the left, right-hand side, but we'll see. Joe says the CG reading on the EFB is bogus. The TLDR, we have a fix. Excellent, Joe. All right. I can't wait for it, my friend. I wonder if I should bump it by a 1 unit of trim. Let's bump it by 1. So it's calling for 5.4. Let's set 6.4 because that seems to work pretty good. I've got 6.4 set. No sparky takeoff today, Gus. I'm going to try not to, my friend. I'm going to try not to. No blown tires. V1 is fully in X-Lane before GTA 6. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? All right, 11:40. We're taxiing out. Look at that quick turn. Ooh, there's an Aero Mexico down there. Am I on the right freak? Probably not. I need to be on 18.9? Or do we need to be on 22.8? I think we need to be on 22.8. That's my lead. Radio check 22.8.
All good.
There we go. Trying to hustle up on the taxi. Do you leave the APU bleed on for every bleed off takeoff? Do you leave the APU and APU bleed on for every bleed off takeoff? I suppose you could do a bleed off takeoff with no APU bleed, but then it's going to get very hot very fast. So theoretically, you could do an engine bleed off takeoff, you know, without an APU, but then your ears are really going to be screaming too. What's the fastest you can taxi? Who are you, the FAA? Honduras traffic, American 357, departing 35. All right. Let's get those yogas ready, chat. Let's get those yogas ready.
Niagara traffic, Aero Mexico 646 lining up behind the departing traffic 35.
Let's take it below the line. MCPND. Checked runway 35. PA is complete. Lights are set before takeoff. Checklist is complete. All right, here we go. Spool them up 40. Yoga. Thrust set 100.5. Golly.
$80 knots.
Runway's getting small.
V1. Rotate.
That's pretty much exactly where we were That's crazy good.
Positive rate.
That's crazy good.
Gear up.
Fly by. That's exactly the sight picture. That is exactly the sight picture we had coming off that runway. I told you, it felt like it was getting real short real quick there at the end. That's exactly accurate. All right, there's 70 seconds. There's 1,500 feet. That was a little bit below the pitch. That's pretty dang good, too, on the perf. So 70 seconds at 1,500 feet. That was pretty dang close. I'd have to watch the tape back.
Aero Mexico 646, 23.5.
All right, there's cut back. Let's go flaps 1. Right here, American 357, proceed direct Belize. Negative. All right, flaps up. After takeoff, check this, please. Going to block 1. Need to turn our noise canceling headphones on. All right, we got to reconfigure the bleed. So, after acceleration altitude prior to 1,000, number 2 bleed on. Wait for the cabin pressurization to stabilize. That's pretty stable. APU bleed off, engine 1 bleed, back to auto. You'll probably feel it popping there. Should do it by the books. I might have done it out of order, but let's just verify. Auto, 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 off. Cabin is stable and climbing. We'll go ahead and kill the APU. APU's coming offline. All right, up and after. Gear handle off. RTO to off. Double check we didn't blow any packs out. Everything looks good on the bleed panel. The cabin is pressurizing. The APU is off. After takeoff checklist is complete. Flyby. So, my initial take, that was insanely accurate depiction of what that takeoff looked like. I told you before we took off that it felt like the runway got real short real quick. That's exactly what happened. The numbers, the bleed numbers were exact, 100.5. The CG, the +1 unit that I've been doing, it seems until Level Up gets a fix out, like Joe said that there's, or Shane, I believe he goes by Shane. Shane said the fix is going to be coming for that CG on the EFB. Until then, I think just adding that 0.1 is a perfect solution, because that felt like a real good rotation. Felt very believable. So whatever the airplane spits out at you, just add +1. It felt very believable. 9 for 10. Let's continue the climb. Contact a Goosey Gulp and control. To Goosey Gulp was going to say climb and maintain 350. Alright, 350 is set. Do I need to push it? We'll see. Nope, we're good. VNAV speed all the way up. We're not really at a 10,000 feet yet. We got another 3,000 feet to go. Do any 737 have the Honeywell? Yeah, I use them all the time. I actually prefer it. I prefer this one because I feel like it's harder to mix up the speed versus the heading knob. They're different shapes, or the difference in shape is larger than the difference in the new one. Shane, awesome, man. Good to go. Yeah, dude, that's awesome. I can't wait to see what y'all are cooking up. All right, climb speed 335. That's a little bit aggressive. Let's knock that back to 310 here. All right, we're getting about another 1,000 feet, and then we'll clean up our PFDs. All right, now can I just snap it to real weather here? Let's see. I'm going to snap it to live weather, which is going to disconnect my yoke. So I'm going to make sure we turn the autopilot on. Let's make this turn. We're above all terrain. Let's go terrain mode off. We'll clean up our ND. Spin that heading bug over one click at a time since AJ Funari saboteured us. My flight path vector on. All right, there's 13,000. That's technically the 10,000 foot. We'll kill the chime light. We'll kill the other lights here. And we will blank our barrel ref out. And we actually got a couple directs. So, well, I'm going to get the autopilot on so I can turn on live weather. Again, this was a fixed weather setting to match the exact weather that we had at the time of departure. I know you could use historical weather, but then it would have been historical time, which, again, midday, mid. But when we go real weather here, we'll go outside and we'll look at the X World Pro and map enhancement South America. K2000, thanks for the $5 super chat. He says, "How are you liking the 7.3 compared to the bus? I was on the 7.3 with Guardia for 2 years. Now the bus, I still miss it." Hey man, the 7.3 is a whole lot more fun to fly in my opinion. The Airbus is a retirement gig, dude. The Airbus, in my opinion, is a better airplane. It's a safer airplane. Safer in the fact that it allows the crew to have more situations, more SA. You have more helping you. It's an electric jet, man. You've got more capacity in your brain. So for that reason, I feel like it's slightly safer. And I guess statistically it's safer as well. It's more comfortable as a passenger. It sits higher on the ground. It's easier to taxi. It's all around, I think, a better product. It's a more modern product. But the 7.3 is a hell of a lot more fun. Hell of a lot more fun. All right, we're go ahead. We're trimmed out. Let's go Command A. Now, this is going to mess some things up here. So let me go into the configuration settings, and I just want to go real world weather, and I'm going to apply changes, and then we'll be good to go. I'll reconnect my yoke, and we'll continue on with our flight. Alright, so we get our live weather back in here, and before I forget, let me reconnect the yoke, because that would be not good. Alright, yoke is reconnected. Excellent day. Alright. We're cooking with gas now. Ooh, my goodness, look at that view. Bring this down a little bit. Look at the clouds today. Ah! Ooh! Maybe it's reloading in. It's a company for sure. The 7.3 is fun. I think it's objectively a better airplane, especially performance. Which one's better? You think the 7.3 is better? Performance? I don't know, dude. High up, I think you're right, like up at altitude, you know. I think the 7.3's got a better wing than the bus for sure. The 7.3 has a better wing. The 7.3 likes to stay a little bit faster. But in terms of like, I don't know, maybe it's just the way my new operator operates the airplane, but I was never weight limited when I flew for Spirit. We could load those airplanes up, packs off, bleeds off, and those airplanes would get up and go, man. So I don't know why. I guess it really depends on the engine variants too. But even for my operator now, it's the 7.3 does all the Latin terrain type stuff because of performance. But then every takeoff we're doing from South America is a flaps 5 bleeds off, because we are absolutely, like this takeoff right here, this was a very maxed out takeoff for us. Like we were within We ended up closing out, you know, an extra, I think, 800 pounds below. But had we have actually departed at our planned weight, we were literally using every ounce that we could to get off legally with second segment climb numbers and all the other performance data. Not just a lot of simmers, we think, oh, if I can just take off from the runway, it's legal, or it can do it. And yes, the airplane may get airborne, but in the 121 airline world, there's a whole lot more that goes into it that we don't even talk about in flight sim world. Like, what is your single engine climb performance? What is your second segment, third segment climb performance? All these other factors that have to be met, you know, crossing the departure end at, you know, X altitude, how, you know, all these other things that have to be met. So the NGs that were blasting off out of South America, this particular takeoff, we was right at the limit. We had if we weren't able to do improved performance, we probably would have been cooked. Or if it got even hotter, like say it was 2 degrees warmer, I don't know if we would have been able to do it. We'd have to either kick some people off or defuel, probably end up kicking people off for weight. How many people did we have on this flight? We weren't even full. 172. Let's see. 164 packs. Yeah, so we weren't even full. If we were completely full, it would have been even tighter. We might have had to kick some people off. So, and I feel like if you put a 320 Neo down there, that thing would have smoked it. I think a 320 Neo would be the, you know, the answer to that particular departure today. But, well, because here's the other thing, you take less fuel. But what the real problem is we don't have 757s from Boeing anymore. We should have this is a flight that 757 Neos should be doing. If the 75 had a Neo, that was perfect. The 75 originally was designed for these types of operations. Hot, heavy, you know, high density altitude, demanding takeoffs, demanding performance. That's where the 75 shines. So until we get a true 7.5 replacement, like a 321 Neo, I'd be curious to see what a 321 Neo perf would be on this exact, you know, setup. But again, there's so many variables, right? How does the operator configure the cabin? How many total souls are, you know, does it have? Those are all factors that come into play. But yeah, we need a 7.5, man. We need 7.5 Neos. I've only been weight restricted in Key West on the bus and never anywhere else. 7.3 a lot, but the high altitude performance of as far as period climb rate being able to get high. Yeah, we can typically get pretty high on the 7.3. It's not, you know, you can get a 37, 38 pretty common. I just think we need 319. You know, if we're not going to have a 7.5 or 7.5 Neo, let's go ahead and get the 319 Neos rolling. Way better than the 220. A 319 Neo would have been a perfect solution to this particular flight. Now, I don't think you'd been able to fit 162 people in a 319 Neo. I don't even know. I don't even remember my 319 passenger configurations. Is it because the engine manufacturers focus too much on efficiency? Exactly. They don't want to... excess performance is wasted money. So they don't make them like that, like in the 7.5. They don't make them like that anymore. It's all about the least amount of fuel burn possible and the quietest possible. But the 319 is a hell of a performer. But that would also be like comparing it to the 700, right? So a 700 on this particular flight probably would have smoked it. Probably would have had a whole lot more leeway. Getting an 800 down here, and but the 800 size, that 800 and 320 size, is kind of the sweet spot in terms of the narrow body market in the U.S. Although I think recently it's really gone more towards the 321 size. I think that is really the hotcake size right now, because the 321 Neo, you're burning as much as an 800 size, but you can fill it up more and go farther. So that's why the 321 Neo is cooking. Now, I don't know about the Max 10. I don't know. We'll have to see what the Max 10 looks like. But I'm curious to see if we're ever going to get a Max 7 in the sim. The Max 7 that just got certified, I think those things look sweet. It's like the 319 Neo wannabe. I used to fly Frontier 318s to Mazatlan. Oh, dude, back in the early 2000s, I used to fly Frontier 318 freeware on FSX, man. Boeing has a wide open opportunity with a new 7.5, and they just rather not because 21st century Boeing. Exactly. Well, they had, what was the NMA, the narrow body, or NBA? I thought Boeing had some plan, but then they ended up canning the plan because of COVID. NMA, the narrow something. All right, we're out of transition, 18,000 feet. Let's go ahead and go. Lights all the way off. Let's go wing light off, logo light is off. Let's give ourselves a direct to here. Where can we go? Proceed direct to Movi. Yeah, let's go direct to Movi. Movi, execute, flyby. I'm curious how the airfoil, I mean, now that I'm kind of getting my X-Plane groove back on, Marcel, I'd be very curious about that iFly Max. I do like how the model on the wing is fantastic on this level up. You can really see how thin that leading edge is on the 800. I can't wait to, this is like a teaser. I want to get to the other side of the airplane where the sun is shining on the bare metal. But you gotta wait. Can't take it anymore. Ah, yes. Bye-bye. Shift 9 is the wingman camera? What does that do? Oh, that is cool. Is there an E2 in X-Plane 12? I don't believe so. Still climbing max thrust. Let's go ahead and just settle in here as we get up 32 up to 35. Just finished my weather class and I joined with Beauty Presented. What's up, Fanatical? I failed weather in college, actually. The only class I ever actually failed. If you turn, it turns with you, keeping the same relative position camera. I got you, guess. All right. Any tolless flights planned? Man, not recently, no. How to create an ETP point on the 7.3? Great question. You can't do it. You can use fixed rings, though. So for this particular flight, let me pull up my actual, see what we can do here. So there's really no, we've got plenty of airports. Going direct to a Movi.
1,000 to go.
I guess we could do Belize. So the best way to do it is, so we're going to come down here. This isn't really a great route for this because we're kind of paralleling the Yucatan. But if you wanted to, you take your first airport, so MZBZ Belize. All right, and I'm going to just start out with a 300-mile radius off Belize. And then I'll take my next fixed page and I'll put Miami in there. And let's put a ring at 300, and let's see where that puts the second ring. There you go. So we can actually, let's close it up. Let's do 315 on Miami, and let's do 315 on Belize. There we go. That's pretty close. Then we'll be at a no man's land there between those two fixed rings. So that's your ETP between those two particular airports. But you can see we're still down here south of Belize. Again, this route isn't, you wouldn't really do it on this one, but because we're paralleling the Yucatan. But yeah, use your fixed pages. Put your two fixed rings in there. You could measure the distance. So like the best example, right, going across the GOMEX routes, going from Houston to Cancun, you'd put Houston 300-mile ring, and then you'd put probably Merida, because that would be your first point of contact, a 300-mile ring. Or you could measure the distance between the 2 points, and then you could, you know, make a better ring, more accurate. I think the last time I did it across the GOMEX routes, I did actually I did do it I did a route from Dallas down to Honduras, and I did it across the route there. But I think it was like 322 was the sweet spot. To be honest, I don't understand the point of Airbus calculated ETP points. They don't really factor in winds other than current altitude winds, or where you're going to single engine. And if you're actually going ETOPS, you're going to actually ETPs calculating your flight plan of view as useless feature. Unacceptable, Turks. It's 100% use. It's 100% useful because you change the airport. So like if you're going over, example, the GOMEX routes, and you catch fire. I mean, you could technically just look at your nearest airport page, but you have you put your airports in there that you want. So like you can put MSY and Merida even if you're going from Cancun to Dallas. You don't need the ETP between Cancun and Dallas. You can change where the fixed info, or you can change it on the ETP point. Or when you're going like when you're doing the waters routes, right, and you're looking at your planned alternates, you could then change it to the ones that you want to go to, and then you know instantaneously, are you closer to or from your airport, the one that you want to go to. It doesn't factor in winds at the altitude you're going to be descending to, but it takes in your current cruise winds though. I mean, the descent winds are only going to be less, right? So technically it's taking the worst case winds at your cruise altitude. Did we level off here at right in the layer? I think we did. What is our optimum today? Max is 379. You want to do it? Let's go to 37. Let's go ahead and set 370 up here. And let's go ahead and set 370 on here. Well, let's get on top of this little layer. Buttons pushed, up we go. But when you put, when you're at flight level 3, and you depress and go to 10 in the winter, actual ETP is going to be closer to the upwind airport than the downwind airport due to the reduction in wind speed with altitude. But when you get down to 10, your decision's already made at that point. That your decision, by the time you get down to 10, your decision, it's more for, in my opinion, like I'm over water and I need to get to land ASAP. So I'm trying to think of a different way to explain it. and won't it actually? Well, so now now you got me thinking. But when you update the winds at cruise, you already have your descent winds in the box, and the ETP is going to read those, right? Because then that's the whole point of updating your, well, not the whole point, but when you do a wind uplink at cruise, man, you're asking, I've dumped a lot of this information. I don't even remember now. In real life, flying ETOPS, we have 3 different ETPs for each airport on par with their destination. Yes, I wouldn't be. Yeah, it's not going to be. I don't really think it's useful for true ETOPS like you're saying, because yeah, then you're going to have multiple rings, right, for all the different airport pairs. Right. I think it's more useful for shorter crossings like a GOMEX route or a Waters route. Because when you're going true ETOPS, then you have other things you have to program, right? Because then don't you actually use the fixed ring page when you do ETOPS in the bus? I've never done ETOPS in the bus. But I would imagine you would then combine, you would be using your actual fixed page. Migs, got to head off, have a butter landing. Hey, take it easy. Migs, I just saw your gifted membership too, my man. Al Loper got a membership from Migs. Thank you so much, my man. Take it easy, bud. All right, we're up at 370. Seatbelt sign is coming off. Speaking of winds, I don't think we can load winds in this, can we? Legs, route data, winds request. Is there a salary difference between flying Boeing and Airbus within the same airline? Most of the time, no. Most of the time, it depends on the operator, and it depends on the contract that the pilots have with the operator. Most of the time, it has to do with the amount of seats. So, like certain variants, like a 321 Neo is probably going to pay more than, say, a 737-700 just because of the seats. But then the 737-900 would pay as much as the 321. You see what I'm saying? So there can be, but there can also not be. It really depends on the pilot contract with the company. That would be my thought. Most of the time, they're pretty close, within a little bit of each other. I saw wind controls making force feedback rudder pedals. Do you think those would really make a difference? Anthony Teal, I get asked this question a lot. I think the concept is good, but to me, unless you are doing true GA training with single engine stuff, I don't know if it's really going to be worth it, because it's not like, you know, you get a ton of feedback in the rudders anyway, and if you have a quality rudder set with good springs and dampeners, I don't know. Now, where it could be more useful too is also in helicopters. I don't know if you're hardcore into helicopters as an anti-torque pedal, but if you're doing anything GA where, you know, you're dealing with P factor and torque, or any type of twin GA and doing engine out practicing, then I would say, yeah, if that's your mainstay, it'd probably be worth it. But if you're only doing airliners, I don't know. My opinion is I don't know, because I can't necessarily see the benefit for just airliners. I'm not saying there wouldn't be a benefit, but I'd like to try them out and see. Maybe if I try them out, I'll be able to, I'd have a different opinion. I don't know. When you press the annunciator test on the 7.3, do you know which lights on? Gee whiz question. Yeah, the one down here. Wheel well light. I think is there another one too? Well, the annunciator panel lights don't go up, but I think it's just the wheel well, right? I think it's just the wheel well light. I don't know. What is it? Tell me, because I got CQ coming up. Probably be asked. Yeah, Anthony, I didn't see any pedals at the expo. There's 2 more? Well, you're not talking about these, right? Because those are their own lights test. And on the radio, these don't light up, but that's not... I think everything else is lit up, right? I don't know. What are the other 2? We could test it on the level up. Oh, the radio should be... Oh, no, those don't count. That doesn't... Those aren't lights. That doesn't count. It's just the wheel well light. Why do I have a discharge light? Oh, I don't have that. I actually had one of these not light up during the test either. Flew with one of the silent ones this week. That was awful. Don't think they started a steel conversation. So you like stuff? Yeah, I had one of those myself. Well, you know what's weird, Turks? As I flew with the silent one, who was a real nice guy. And like when I started talking, he would talk. But it was like there was no mutual continuation of conversation, right? So it was like, oh my gosh. Straight silent. The CVR test button. Well, yeah, the CVR test button doesn't light up because you test it yourself. So that wouldn't... That's interesting. Let me see. I don't even think this lights up in general. Let's see. I know it does. We can't test it, but can we... Is that illuminated? Let's see. Does it change? No, it's staying on a light. You're talking about this light? Or are you talking about the new CVR? Or the old CVR, rather? And the printer button if installed. The printer button? I don't think I've seen a printer button. Unless you mean, oh, like the lights on the printer, like the paper slew, paper advance, that stuff? Really? Alright, well, I'm going to bank it for CQ in case I get asked that question. I'll keep it in the back pocket. Ah, but the test button doesn't light up. Alright. I'll have to check. Now you got me curious. So you like stuff? Annoyed grunt. Speaking of the 321 Neo, hurry up, Phoenix. I know. Well, you know what? What comes first? The 321 Neo or me back on the Airbus? I really don't know. Also try this. The only button on the FMC that cycles pages. If you press the button continuously, it's is the fixed page button. What? Wait, you can cycle pages in the FMC by holding the fixed page down? Huh. I didn't know that. Have you got an Airbus bid in? What's up, Highball? No, I don't have an Airbus bid in. I don't have an Airbus bid in yet. Right now, currently, though, when I get back to my home base, Airbus would be a 18% jump in seniority, which would be kind of nice. So we'll see what happens. I don't want to go back to the bus right now, to be honest with you. I think you crashed my box, dude. There we go, it's back. That messed up my box, dude. I don't have a bid in yet, but we'll see what happens, man. I might. I don't want to, but I probably will have to, because I think Boeing has pretty much decided that they are done being delivered. Like, you know, Max 10, who knows when that's going to get certified, and no one's taking deliveries of NGs anymore. So the Airbus is still coming back on the line, so it's the seniority on the Airbus side has continued to move. And, you know, seniority in my career is pretty much destroyed anyways, you know, making a career change 10 years in. But just to be able to hold preferred days off on reserve schedule, I'd be able to do that at, you know, 75-ish% in base. So the bus would put me at about 84%, so it'd be a lot closer. So we'll see. Like I've always said before, I could care less what the airplane looks like, as long as the quality of life is optimized. What's seniority look like on the 7.8? To be honest with you, the 7.8, if you want to sit right seat, 7.8 is not that far off. I mean, I know guys that are, what, Turk's like 5 years in, 7.8 right seat. Philly, did I see that, or was that 777? I can't remember. There was a couple that were like, you know, right seat. Maybe it was 5 years. I don't know. But I have zero interest in that. Zero. I would rather quit the line and work a management job at HQ than fly a wide body twin. Not my cup of tea. I can hold wide bodies in the cardboard box base. No, thank you. Yeah. Do you remember the day you got your PPL? The day I got my PPL. I do. It's funny though. I remember the day I soloed more so than that. I actually had to think about it for a second. But the day I got my PPL was kind of anticlimactic for me personally. I had just moved back to a different state because I was chasing a girl around, and I don't know, it's kind of a weird time of my life. But yeah, I do remember my PPL check ride actually, and I remember my check ride specifically because we were doing the emergency like drift down, right? You lose an engine, and I thought I got lost temporarily, so I continued to simulate the drift down to the airport that I was diverting to until I could orient myself and figure out how to get back. I just kind of lost track of where I was. But my PPL was, yeah, I remember that. I remember my first solo a lot more, though. My first solo was very vivid. I still remember the feeling I had when my instructor left the airplane and closed the door. And I'm sitting there, like, excited, but like nervous but excited. You know, it's anybody who's done their first solo, you know what I'm talking about. But then you just, like, I kind of forgot how to start the airplane. I was just thinking, well, how do I start this? You know, but then I looked at the checklist, and then you kind of like snap back, and you're like, okay, now you're back into the rhythm, just like you always been. Before start checklist, you go through your little procedures, and then it all comes together and clicks. And then I also remember distinctively being in the pattern in Smyrna Beach, Florida. And I remember distinctively being on downwind, looking at the runway, and realizing I could see, because I was on a right downwind. So I was looking out the right window, and my instructor wasn't there. And I was just thinking, this is freaking cool, man. This is freaking cool. I remember that. And then I also remember being on final and seeing a white van drive on the frontage road right underneath the final. And I was thinking all the years as a kid you know, when you're driving by an airport and you're looking up at the airplanes on final, and I'd always want my mom to time so we could be right under the airplane when they flew over. Thankfully, we don't do that. Don't do it if it's United flying over you. And then I remember having this this cognitive thought on final, like, man, I wonder if that driver is looking at me and I'm looking at him. So it was a very cool feel. It was very, very vivid memory, my first solo. Definitely more vivid than my PPL. Like, I don't remember, short of getting lost temporarily, I don't really remember the rest of my PPL check ride. Maybe it was because I was so nervous and I just, you know, was trying not to screw up. Maybe that was it. But, yeah, I remember when we parked, he's like, oh, good job, you know. I'm like, all right, cool. That's it. I could hold the 737 Captain in the mothership base. Now I'm not dumb enough to bid the junior upgrade here under the current reserve system, but I could sit left seat with you. Hey, that'd be awesome, Turks. You should do it, man. Do it. Do it. Oh my gosh, there is I don't know what that is crawling across my screen. Man, X-Plane showing out though this morning on our way to Miami. Bare metal and Miami, two things go hand in hand. Like, there's nothing that goes more hand in hand than bare metal and Miami. Everyone thinks Dallas because that's the HQ for American, but I don't know. There's something about bare metal in South Florida, Miami, that musty, humid morning smell going down to South America, man. That is to me the most iconic. No, it's not a cockroach, Zippy. It's one of these weird looking, like, flying ant things. Hit shift 1 or shift 2 and flyby. I know, slow motion flyby. Oh, here we go. Smash the like button for bare metal. I think Americans should have kept all their 7.3s bare metal. Screw the Airbus. Lucas says it's almost like an out-of-body experience. For a brief moment, I remember soloing significantly more than PPO. Yeah, same. Same, dude. Oh, the aircraft carrier? I saw them down there. There they are. Are they going down to Venezuela? Are they on their way back? Yeah, there's a carrier down there off our left. Oh, no. That's, wow. You can actually read that? Nevergreen. I think that's supposed to be evergreen. There's a container ship down there. And there's the... no, those aren't carriers. That's tankers. Pumping our own gas, baby. Yeah, when the sun comes up, it'll even shine better. This livery is really well done. I was surprised. Like, because bare metal is kind of hard to do, I think. But when you see this in midday as the sun gets up on our approach to Miami, you'd be even more impressed. But I love this view too, right here, the AA.com winglet. How were the calculations? Were they accurate? Spot on, Fizuksu. It was scary accurate. And what was really cool, the performance seemed to be spot on. I need to wind the stream back and see when we actually hit 70 seconds, what altitude we were at. Might have been off just a fraction, because I think I started the timer a hair bit late. But it was definitely within reason. There wasn't like this huge discrepancy in performance either. I think it was maybe a couple, like 100 feet or 200 feet. But what I told the chat before we even took off, I said when I did this takeoff in real life 2 days ago, the runway got real small real quick. And that's exactly what happened on our particular takeoff. So whatever you guys are doing in terms of the performance and how it all flies, I wouldn't change it because it seems to be performing pretty dang good. OAT at takeoff was 34C, Vodka, 34C. We were doing 100.5 on the N1 bleeds off. So, and we were kind of messing with the box because I was trying to make the FMC match the exact weights and closeout and CGs that we had on our flight. And it all matched. We got it to match pretty much exact. The only thing I did, I said this earlier, until you guys, I think Shane said you guys have a fix for the CG that's coming out of the EFB. I think until then, for everybody that's flying the level up, just whatever it tells you, just add 1 unit of trim, and it seems to be pretty dang good in terms of the rotation. You just +1 on the CG, whatever it gives you. Only thing missing in X-Plane 12 is crappy career mode. Mine was 28. Oh yeah, yeah. 28C. You got a derated TO1 takeoff. Flaps 1 or flaps 5, Vodka? Well, your thing too, Vodka, yours is not looking at any of the other real performance requirements, such as your engine out, height over 50-foot obstacle, departure end. So you're just getting, I think, basic numbers for takeoff. Ours, like the TPS that I'm using, that's coming from already pre-planned performance requirements. That's why it was giving us flaps 5. And actually, I have my, hold on. So I can tell you, I have my actual iPad here, my work iPad. Oh, Turks, I forgot to tell you, I dropped the 4-day for a 3-day, but it's not commutable, so I still got to go out a day early, but it's better than the 4-day I had, so get 1 more day off. Well, not really, but kind of. So I have my actual flight plans. I save them all, which I don't mean to, but it just makes it easier. But let me see what, let me pull it up here. So XPL. Yeah, so we could not, our original planned data was max, yeah, no derate. Because we were planning takeoff for 158.4. We were planning for a 158.4 takeoff. But we also had to get, let's see. Yeah, the temperature went up. So what's crazy is, well, not really crazy, but our original takeoff data, I can't really show you because it's on my other iPad. So our original takeoff data was planned for a temperature of 32°C. And at 32°C, we could have gone up a little bit heavier, and we would have actually been let's see. We were still going to be at flaps 5, but we were going to be able to go up to 161.9 on the takeoff weight. But because the temperature was hotter than what we planned for, it actually went up to 34°C. We had to send for new data, new takeoff data. So the picture that I showed you, so let's go to this again. Not that one. Where's the other one? So this takeoff sheet, this is actually something we don't typically print out. So we get this data, but it comes electronically to our EFBs. But what happened was the one that was on our EFB was planning for a 32°C takeoff. Remember, the temperature has to be within +2, and it was actually going to go up to 35. So what we did is we call let's request a new takeoff performance sheet. So when you request a new one for the hotter temperature, then one prints out, and then you use the paper. So a normal day, a normal takeoff, when everything is planned accurately and there's no changes, we don't even have this piece of paper. It's just a digital piece of paper in our EFB. But because the temperature got hotter, and it actually knocked our weights significantly back, so you can see that temperature does make a big difference. So originally, I'll just read them off, we were planning for 32 degrees Celsius, 100.8 bleeds off, and a max takeoff of 161.9. But then we had to increase the temperature by 2, and then we get this data here, which knocked our max down almost 2,000 pounds, 159.7, and that's again using the improved performance package of the jet. and at max. So when this says at max, this is talking about the second D rate. So if you had a D rate of TO1, say it was going to derate you to 50C, it would say 50C here. But because it says max, that means max takeoff, no D rate. And IMP is, again, improved performance, and that's a 7.3 thing. Trying to see what else we had on here, that if anything else changed. Not really. But again, yeah, that's the plan numbers, right? And then we have the actual numbers here, what we finally closed out. So we eventually grossed out 157.7. We were planning for 158.4, so we were 600 pounds lighter than planned. I can't imagine that takeoff 600 pounds heavier. We would have been really close to the end. But, I mean, that was just really cool to see how that all played out with the sim and how close it actually got. Just got home from St. Thomas. St. Thomas or St. Croix? I can't remember what STX is. It's too senior for my blood. What's up, man? Hope all is well. Sam is in the house. What's up, Sam? How you doing, buddy? Are you a TTS guru? Sam, you don't need TTS. Where are you getting the line at already? You're not getting the line, Sam. Don't be talking about TTS. Actually, give us all the TTS tips because you're senior to us, so it doesn't matter. You never give a senior guy TTS tips, but you can always give a junior guy tips because he won't be able to outbid you. Let me log in. Let me see if what the heat map is doing. Dude, the heat map is one of the stupidest things I've ever seen. What's up, Hayden J. Robbins? Good to see you, Mr. Speedbag. What's the route for the next stream? Zippy. So I'm thinking we're going to do JFK to TFFF, Fort de France. But actually, I need to check out this other airport because I swapped into a trip with the IATA code is POS. What is that? POS airport code. Port of Spain, Trinidad and Tobago. TTTP. Maybe we should go there. I don't think I've been there. That's on my next trip. How far is that? JFK, can you get an L1011 into TT, what was it? TTPP. TTPP. It's about the same. Ooh, it's actually farther. Oh my gosh, that's far. I gotta go down there? That's really far. I don't want to do that. Let's see, that's 1800 versus Martinique was 16. Yeah, let's keep it TFF. Unless we think, what's better? Fort de France, TFFF, or TTPP? Which is better? Is there a Port of Spain scenery? Scenery package, Trinidad and Tobago, Grenada pack, approach sim, not really anything good. What about Fort de France? I think I have a payware for Fort de France. Martinique. Yeah, I've got a 2024. I think we'll keep it with TFFF. Here's the thing though, I hope I can make it in time, Zippy. If not, because I gotta, again, what time is it right now? It's 12:38. I need to leave for my medical at, gosh, I'd like to leave at 2:30. Because if I get there a little bit early, I think I can get in and out, hopefully. We'll see. That's part of the plan. ...342 miles to top of descent, 436 from Miami. We're supposed to be there at 14:07. Sim time is, so we got 1 hour. It's 12:40. Oh yeah, we got plenty of time. I'm gonna have to take a quick lab break. Let me see what the wife is doing. Maybe we can get a little coffee. I don't want to have too much coffee before my medical, though. I do have to with the lab. Hayden J. Robbins, welcome back to Prep Pilot, my man. Am I bringing the other tri-jet on this journey, or do you want a 757 accompanying me? Well, I've had a lot of 757 in my life recently, so let's do MD-11. Best place you've timed out in? Home. I timed out in Atlanta when I was living in Atlanta. Best place to time out in. I reached the age of 6-month medical. Oh boy. They got to keep you busy, man. I've reached the age of EKG medical. Not home? Cabo? Nice little resort. Yeah, Cabo would be nice. You know, I could definitely see timing. I mean, let me put it this way. I think in my 10 years at Spirit, I think I timed out 2 times. I've been at my new operator for less than a year, and I've already timed out once. I have a theory that the operation is just the reason it gets so destroyed when there's any hiccups. It's because every crew is ran so freaking thin, man. Everybody is maxing out all the time. How they come up with these trips is beyond me. Mickey G is in the house. Mickey G, my man, what's going on? Mickey G, can you feel it? Is it almost college football Saturday? Game day Sunday? Getting a smoker ready? I actually got to do a revamp on my Blackstone griddle, man. My griddle is all the cover I had on. I had like one of those rubber covers to keep it dry and not rusty, but I guess some water got under there. So I got to go down the whole refurb of the Blackstone griddle, man. Got to get that up and ready. Have I done any real long haul flights? Well, I flew from Miami to San Francisco, and I think I died 3 times over on that flight. I think that's my longest one. Do you have similar system for trip notifications as with Spirit? That was kind of fun to watch when you trade for trip. No, it's totally different, Friction Mafia. It's totally different. It's way more archaic, way more complex, and dumb. So no. No, the Spirit system was awesome. Can pilots take out some sort of insurance for the event they might fail a medical and lose their career? Yes, they do. Aaron, yeah, they do, man. So you have loss of medical. That typically, again, that type of stuff gets negotiated through the pilot union and the company, typically. In the U.S. anyway. I don't know how it works abroad, but yeah, you have buy-up policies and things like that where you can buy into insurances if you lose a medical or loss of medical, of course, right? You get a percentage as your pay. So yeah, it is definitely a thing, but most of the time that is negotiated through the labor agreements. Does you mean the ECS you won't let you log in on a dead end because it thinks you're flying the plane? Yeah, exactly, Turks, exactly. Would like to bring back memories in the L1011 TriStar. Oh yeah, we're gonna bring back some memories. I hope tonight. I hope I'm gonna make it on time. 5:30. Kennedy. We're gonna leave from. We're gonna start the stream from the TWA hotel, which I did that trip I just swapped out of. It was a bunch of JFK TWA hotel stuff, so I'm kind of bummed I don't get to see the Connie again. But I think I've had enough $15 coffees at that hotel. But I'm excited to fly the TriStar tonight. I know AJ Funari, he absolutely rips it because he doesn't own it, and he just has to rip on Indie Builds. But I think the TriStar is one of the best Indie Builds releases on the platform. It is a phenomenal airplane. It's modeled deeper than the 707, and the 707 has got some great modeling to it. For a free airplane, if you had the upgrade or if you just bought it for $10, that 707 is fantastic for the price. Best budget add-on in the sim in Microsoft that you can buy, hands down. But the L10 has even got more simulation below that. The INET or the LTN is great. The sounds, I think Echo 19, his best work is on the L1011 TriStar. I think Echo 19's best work is on the L1011 TriStar. It's really good. He also did some work on the PMDG too. The default PMDG, I know we all love Boris, but I gotta be honest with you, the default PMDG is really good. It's really good. But yeah, I'm excited for flying the TriStar tonight, man. Mickey G says, I can't wait. Need to deep clean my grills once I get back home. Deep clean? Dude, you don't need to deep clean, Mickey G. Just turn the fire. Just let them burn up, dude. Let them catch fire. That's what I do. I let them catch fire, let it burn for a little bit, and then it's clean. You know? You don't need to deep clean it. If you got the wood dust in there from the pellets, if you have a pellet grill, just set that sucker on fire, man. Let it burn for a little bit. What smoker are you rocking these days? I'm thinking of replacing my offset with an adjustable charcoal style grill smoker twist sauce. If I were to get a new one today, I might get something that's a little more versatile, but if you want a smoker that is the best smoker that is so much easier than an offset. Look, I got super hardcore in smoking meats with the offset grill, trying to make my own charcoal even. I love it. It's a passion. I love it. There is a time and a place for the old offset grill, throwing some wood on the fire on a crispy 70 degree or like 62 degree morning with the Texas Longhorns getting ready to beat down OU, right? There's time and place for that. But the Camp Chef Woodwind Pro is a pellet smoker that allows you to burn actual wood chunks. I've done some side-by-side smokes of pork butts, and I'm going to be honest with you, it is almost hard to tell, because with the Woodwind Pro you get the ease of use of the pellets. Ease of use. You set it, forget it, walk away. It'll take care of the temperature and all that stuff. But above the pellet of the burner box where the pellets are, there's an actual box where you put wood chunks, not chips, actual chunks of wood. And that wood will burn and smolder, and you can adjust how fast you want to burn that wood with the vent. You can get a very, I'm talking 93% replica of a true offset smoke with the Camp Chef Woodwind Pro. It's like 93, 94% there. Where it makes a difference is those super, super long cuts, or long cooks. So brisket, the pork butt, that's where it's like 93. If you're doing ribs or chicken, it's almost like you almost can't tell the difference, man. It's that easy. You guys are making me hungry. But yeah, I have the Camp Chef Woodwind Pro as my smoker now that I use most of the time. Alpha Mike, thank you for the 28 months of support. Says good luck on the medical. I always feel stressed out going in for my ATC medical. I know I'm a little bit stressed because I don't remember what the eye chart was now. I'm gonna have to actually read it this time. I guess I shouldn't get another coffee before I go. I should drink some more water. I need to actually be drinking a lot of water, right? Because I got to do the P test today. So that's a good point. But yeah, it's about 45 minutes away from where I need from the office. So I don't know. I hope I'm going to get back in time. I'm going to try to leave here at 2:30. Or actually, I'll tell you what. I'll probably leave right after my aircraft. Fuel centers are empty. Crisis averted. I'm actually going to leave here early and see if I can get in and out early. What was your favorite option as a real study level aircraft in which most everything was modeled? The Phoenix, Friction Mafia. I think hands down the Phoenix 320 is one of the most complex add-ons and simulated add-ons on the flight simulator market. And there's a ton of add-ons that come close. I think PMDG comes close. A lot of Just Flight stuff comes close. You can even throw in some of like some GA stuff comes close. But what separates Phoenix is their standalone engine model with thermal dynamics modeling. And like it depends on how hot it is outside for it to cool off. You know, you got all the different icing stuff that happens, ice accumulation, ice shedding, engine fan heating. So I think that part alone sets it away, because you have a lot of other good airplanes that have really good systems where almost everything is modeled and their engines are really well modeled, but they're not custom engines outside of the sim like Phoenix. So that's why I say Phoenix. But if there's some other airplanes out there that have that same thing, let me know, because I'd be curious to try them out too. All right, we are just about ready to hit is that Cuba? Cuba? We have a Cuba already? I'm gonna take a quick lab break. I don't know where to park the camera. Oh yeah, right there. Right there. I'm gonna park it there for a second. I'm gonna go take a quick lab break, and we'll get back and start preparing for our descent. We're back. Wow, so that's a little bit of, that's map enhancement going on down there. And X and Simheaven, X World. Ortho looks pretty good down there, a little bit of chop. Just a little bit of light chop. Coastline looks pretty good. We have the same smoker as you. Were you able to get the Wi-Fi to work? The Wi-Fi to work. Like hook it up to the Wi-Fi? Oh, you mean for the temperature probes? Jeremy, I think I did for a while, but then I think they ended up going out on me. I use my own temperature probes. I use a meter probe. My wife got me a meter probe for her birthday a couple of years back. I've been using that now. I try to use those. I still, if I'm doing a port button where I need multiple temps, I'll try to use those Wi-Fi probes as well. Made the mistake of using the restroom in the lobby right before my first medical. Joe complains. Yeah, that's no good. Or like it'll happen to you when you're out on the line. Like you'll really have to pee, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna go pee before top of descent, and then you get to the gate, and you're like, oh, you're getting a drug test, and now you got to go pee. Man, the last one I got drug tested my first trip off of OE. And wow, look at the wake down here. Look at the wave physics from this ship along the coastline. Microsoft could never. Yeah, my first drug test after I got off OE on my new operator, I had to do like 2 full cups. Good thing I didn't go pee before, because I would have been really in trouble. Why is the meter probe dead to you, Mickey G? Does yours die out on you or something? I actually think, Mickey G, I cooked some steaks last night. And the wife got some. I told her, like, you know, 1.75 inch, 1.5 inch minimum on the steak thickness. 1.75 inch is the sweet spot. I guess she got 2-inch cuts. So basically we had like 2 mini roasts. So I put the meter probe in one against my better judgment because I really don't need the meter probe for steaks. But they were so thick, I was like, I'm going to do it. And I think my meter probe, the temperature reading is off or it's skewed because they were definitely not at the finished temp. Well, they were well above the temp that I thought it was. So I overcooked them a little bit, which is highly unfortunate because they are not cheap. They were still really good, but we definitely need a V1 live grilling show, maybe this football season. I'm not going to say it yet, Gus. We'll see. We're getting close, Gus. Let me see the port of Miami when I get up in Miami. We'll see. It's crazy, though, that you can actually see the wave physics of those boats down there. That is pretty crazy. I mean, this could be Microsoft Ortho. From this level, this altitude, this Ortho looks really good. Okay, X-Plane. Okay, X-Plane. You use ThermoWorks now, Mickey G. Really? What are those? Let me look those up. ThermoWorks. Meat thermometer. Is this a sponsored plug? Oh, are those quick ones? So you just yeah. I should probably get one of these. I had one, then my kids decided to play with it in their mud kitchen. I don't think it was a ThermoWorks, so I had one like this. But these are the Insta-Read, right? A ThermoPen. Yeah. It's a simulation, not a game. Yeah. What's up, Matthew? Yeah, the chrome livery, dude. The best. I really wanted to fly it yesterday, bare metal day. I can't get enough of bare metal now. Let's see, we're landing in 1407Z. Time now is 13:21, so 40 minutes. We'll be on the ground. That's 140. Sandwich with the wife before I gotta go. The plane that wears the plane best wears the bare metal livery. Dude, there's it's got, well, the Boeings, man. The Boeings are all the bare metal, right? So any 7.3 DC-10 really slaps on the MD-80, or the DC-10, the MD-80, all bare metal are really good. The 7.4, I don't love the 7.4 in bare metal. It seems like too much. Don't love the 7.4 bare metal. I honestly, the toss-up, you talk about just the American bare metal? For just the American bare metal livery, I've got a two-way tie between the 757 and the MD-80. It's a two-way tie for who wore the bare metal best, either 7.5 or MD-80. And then I would put the 7.3. Or no, then I would probably put the DC-10 and the 7.3. The 7.5 is hard to beat bare metal, dude. A 7.5 bare metal with straight wings. Even I'm a straight wing fan, but I 7.5 looks amazing, winglets or not. I prefer the straight wings on the 7.5, but a 7.5 bare metal straight wing. It's epic. It's epic. So we are over a Movi. I'm getting so many spam calls. It's not even funny. So Moby's on the north side of Cuba. So yeah, we're gonna get ready for the Sandbar 3. Alright, proceed direct to Pamper. That's probably what we would get. So let's go legs page. Pamper, direct, Pamper, execute, cross Pamper at flight level 230. So we'll do 230 at Pamper, execute, and we'll set flight level 230. Uh-oh, it looks like Miami Center just got on. Oh no. Miami North Control. Alright, let's set up our, let's prepare for, ooh, we're going to be a little bit heavy because of our weights for takeoff. We're going to be overweight, aren't we? What's the max landing weight? It's like 144, isn't it? Have to dump some weight because we had, again, this flight was supposed to be a 4-hour flight. Where's the landing performance? Let me check. Flat 30. For this aircraft, 146. What were we landing? Ah, yeah, we're 148. We're too heavy. So, because we're too heavy, let's... I don't want to screw this up here. We're going to be like 2,000 pounds too heavy. How much fuel are we landing with? Shoot, we're landing with 12,800 pounds. Can I remove fuel? What's the best way to get us into landing weight? Because we had to mess with it. I guess can I remove payload in flight? Can I just remove 2,000 pounds of payload? I'll just remove 3,000. So we're 37,407. Great chance to demo overweight landing procedure. We have one of those? Trying to get out of here early, Turks. Killing me. Hold on. We're only going to be over by like, well, we're going to be over by like almost 3,000 pounds. There's probably nowhere where it would be easy to find, would it? Fast reference links? No. Overweight landing. Not under non-routine landing considerations. That's not what I want. Miscellaneous, don't have that. Landing gear. Overweight landing. Overweight landing, a landing weight in excess of the maximum structural landing weight. Advised landing distance value referred to the land app. All right, we can do all that. Use of flaps 30 rather than 40 is recommended to provide increased speed margin. Advisory landing is equal to or less would be fine. Checklist complete. Deferred items. Max doesn't apply. Oh. All right, we're just gonna land overweight. Let's see what happens. Screw it. Overweight landing procedure. We're gonna land overweight. What freak is this guy? 32.2.
Precipitation. Currently during 12 o'clock, 13 miles, about, well, say 10, 15 miles in diameter. Just advise if you need the vectors around that.
Alright, let's set up the rest of the box. Alright, non-routine landing considerations, we've all double checked all that stuff. We're going to do flaps 30, 150 on the speed. Again, we're gonna modify that probably because we're gonna see what our AOA is on final.
American 1, same with you, heavy,
110.9, final approach
to
course
1 o'clock, 30 to
092
25 miles in diameter. Just advise if you need vectors around that.
We'll advise American 1.
Yeah, 409. I already told the guys in front of you, but you know what it is. Just let me know if you need vectors.
That 409, roger.
Alright, 092, 110.9. .9, both sides 092.
American 2725, radar contact 51 miles south of the NASA VOR, level 360. Descend via the Vice 2 arrival. Miami's landing west at the moment. I'll double check again. Altimeter 3000.
Landing west.
Send on the Vice 2 altimeter 3000, American 2725.
Well, that might change.
American 2725, Miami now east.
Oh, Miami east. Okay, good.
Roger, American 2725.
Delta 279 cross, hollowed at 5,000, cleared ILS straight in runway 10 left.
Hollowed at 5,000, cleared ILS, straight at 10 left, Delta 279.
ILS 9208. I'm gonna reset you. Would you fly the hot start 650 again? I'd have to get it installed. Maybe. I'm not opposed to it necessarily.
Miami traffic, this is citation November 23, Sierra Mike requesting IFR to Mike Delta, Yankee Bravo.
What's up, Nathan? I realized I had an old version of the plane installed. I'm updating it. Good to see you back next plane. Hey, man.
2300 Mike.
So far, so good. It was fun doing a real-world
Mike
takeoff
Delta,
comparison
Juliet
today.
Bravo via radar vectors to join the Hustle 3 departure. CAMX transition that is filed. Maintain 3000. Expect flight level 45010 minutes. After
I wonder if we
departure,
should reload
squawk
the
6625.
arrival
Read back
for this
squawk code
guy.
only.
Let's go back to the arrival. See if we can reload. ILS 9, leg,
00 Mike. Read back correct. Call me for taxi.
3.
Expect 9 or left.
maxi,
I'll call you for taxi, back 9 left,
execute.
November 236 here, Mike.
American 738 after
Oh, we're
descent,
already
descend
inside
and
of it,
maintain
nice.
4000, expect
Okay,
the
so
ILS 1 left.
We'd have to actually do it the other way, but we'll
Okay,
just
after deside 4000, expecting 1 left, American 738.
take a different fix.
American 1 after deside, descend and maintain 4000, expect the ILS 1 left.
After
How do you
deside
set the
down
chrono on the
4000,
73?
expect 01 left, ILS, American 1.
Reset. It doesn't show hours at the moment. Oh, to get it up over hours? That I don't know. I don't use the chrono over hours. I think it'll just show hours, won't it? It'll just get to like 59 and then it'll just be 1 for 1 hour. At least I think that's how it should work. Wish we had the Max variant. I know. Well, Airfoil Labs Max looks interesting, but I still think it's probably a really long way out, right? I don't think that's coming anytime soon. No repeat from yesterday. No control issues, no engine issues.
3155 Sierra.
Oh,
the,
AJ, does the Challenger uses
runway
Gizmo?
5,
Yeah, no, we're not doing that. No more Gizmo.
Runway 5, clear to land, 3 left on us here.
We're not doing the Gizmo procedure. No more Gizmos. Dead to me. Alright. We're cooking. I'm gonna call this guy here pretty soon. Let's give him a reference. He was giving off the Key West.
American 859, unfortunately, you've left airspace to the east. Radar service terminated. Change to advisory. Approved, yeah.
Or advisory, American 859, yeah.
Southwest 4848 Jacksonville's offline. Radar service terminated. Change to advisory. Approved.
So let's just do this.
Miami Center, good afternoon, American 3050 heavy,
Let's take our
uniform spot 7 taxi.
put that in the fixed page.
American 3050 heavy, Miami Center,
2
thanks
mile
for
wing
uniform,
around it.
runway 8 right, taxi via Mike.
Delete that fixed page.
8 right via Mike, American 3050
We'll
heavy.
plan an auto 3. Nose is going to come down quick. Flaps 30. Miami Center, good afternoon. American 357, flight level 370. We're about 70 miles to the south of Key West, inbound Miami.
American 357, Miami Center, squawk 477 tree.
4773 for American 357.
Miami Center, Delta 1472, requesting over land.
It's so hard to get that transponder in there. Is it an NG thing to have flaps ref speed on the PFD?
Delta 1472, IFR Atlanta, please.
We only have ref speed, but not the flaps. I-830, 145 on the max.
Delta 1470.
I think it's probably just a company
to the
option.
Atlanta Airport, as
Probably just a
filed.
company
Maintain
option.
16,000. Expect flight level tree 50 is your final. Departures with me, squawk 56 tree 7.
Delta 1472, cleared Atlanta, initial climb 16,000, expect 350 as final. Departures with you, squawk 567 tree, correction, 56 tree 7, Delta 1472.
Delta 1472, readback is correct. Call me for taxi. Expect runway 9 for departure.
It's so good.
We'll call you for taxi, expect runway 9 for departure, Delta 1472.
Delta 279, winds 1008, runway 10 left
All
for
right.
land.
Let's see, we're set up to come down the RNAV sandbar
Miami
3.
Center,
We're going direct to Pamper. We're going to descend via. It's going to bottom out down there at leg, 4,000 feet. From there, we'll transition to the ILS. Visual approach to runway 9. We got 092 on the approach course.
Question number 1 now.
Planning 208 in the Barrow. Touching down. Left-hand turn off. Hold short possibly. We'll do auto 3, flaps 30. We are overweight, so we'll keep an eye on that. This is an overweight landing procedure. Non-team landing considerations have been completed.
American 357, radar contact 50 miles south of the Key West VOR 370.
That's us, American 357. And just before you came on, we gave ourselves direct Pamper on the Sandbar 3. I don't know if that's going to mess you up or you want us to go somewhere else.
Should be fine. I'll just see what traffic off to your left is saying.
Gotcha, American 357, thanks. ILS 9 has requirement to turn the autopilot off. That is correct, yes. No coupled approaches on the ILS 9. So we'll fly at LNAV, VNAV, and then we'll arm it up, capture it just before an S, and then we'll disconnect. Hand flown inside of an S.
Next 2187, Miami Center, welcome back. Runway 10 left, taxi via Alpha.
Taxi via Alpha, FedEx 2187.
Out of 409, descend and maintain
Now,
4000.
he didn't
Expect
give
vectors
us
ILS
a
9.
descend via or anything, so let's go ahead
Descend
and
to maintain
reset our
4000,
altitude.
expect ILS, United 49.
And American 1, reduce to 180 knots.
180, American 1.
American 738, 9 miles from Selman, turn right heading tree 40, maintain, or descend and maintain 3000, full established, cleared ILS 1 left.
Okay, 340 down to 3, full established, and clear for the ILS 1 left, American 738.
Freaking X-plane, man. I cannot believe we're back in X-plane. I mean,
American
this is...
357, descend via the Sandbar 3 arrival, Miami's east, altimeter 3000.
Descend via the Sandbar landing east 3000, American 357. Alright, descend via...
Pamper's fine at the moment.
Roger that, thanks, American 357. Alright, we're going to Pamper. We're descending via, so that's 4,000 foot on the bottom. 4,000 is set, 4,000 set. TD is up there. We're coming up on top of drop in 35 miles. Get that seatbelt sign here momentarily. I just can't believe we're back in X-Plane. Because X-Plane, I mean, this is what the channel, I started this channel in X-Plane 11. And here we are once again. Just crazy. Reminds me of the good old days, man. X-Plane 11 at its peak. It's pretty awesome. I don't think X-Plane 12 is at its peak yet. It's still got a ways to go.
American 1, descend and maintain 3000.
3000, American 1.
But these colors here are looking pretty good. I'll be very curious. We do have map enhancement, and we do have X World Sim Heaven. So we'll have to be the judge as we get on approach into Miami.
American 1, 10 miles from Salmon, turn right heading tree
I know, I'm gonna need a
40,
flyby
maintain
emoji back.
3000 till
I
established
don't know.
on localizer.
Just
Clear
landed,
ILS 1 left.
level up. Looks like the lesson from yesterday with AOA ended up in the green about 5 knots slower than technically it was a butter. Excellent.
Localizer, American
Excellent.
1, maintain 3,400, you said, yeah.
Those X-Plane
maintain
atmospherics are
3000
top notch.
till
Well,
established.
I'm so diabetic lad. I am.
Look, it's
You know,
gonna be a long.
after this week, I'm not after today, and probably not going to stream for the rest of the week until next week, so I go back to work. But when we do come back, I'm going to have to start looking for some adverse
American
weather.
738 winds, tree 107.
We need to
gust
start
22,
looking for
variable
some
between
adverse weather conditions, and we're going to have to see
50,
how
350,
X-Plane is
runway 1
handling
left,
that.
clear to land.
Okay, 1 left, clear to land, American 738, thank you.
Aviation says, V1, I was impressed with how you maintained the throttle, or how you maintained the throttle issue yesterday when the engine shut off on you mid-flight. You're a true master of your craft. Thank you, Gray Aviation. I appreciate you. Yeah, we had a unsolicited, unprompted dual-engine failure there on our descent to Sky Harbor. Hey, stay calm, fly the airplane. Look, engine shutting off, that's not the worst thing that can happen. I'd much rather have a dual-engine flame out than an engine or a fire on an airplane. So, engines flame out. Hey, you're still flying, baby. We got plenty of altitude. We just to do a little bit of troubleshooting. Get them back up and running. You're good to go. Cameras are still superior in X-Plane. They are pretty good, Mr. Martini. They are pretty good. The camera system in X-Plane is pretty good. We're coming up on Key West off the left here. Let's take a look at that. Adverse weather, like icing up on descent. Oh, you mean like the over-exaggerated icing effects that X-Plane has? Yeah, that's what you mean. Yes.
We're on the go, Delta 279.
All right, look at Key West. There's a Naval Air Station. Key West at 11 o'clock.
360, 4000, Delta 279.
Shit. Ortho, that map enhancement is. That's crazy. So where do all these tiles go? Do all these tiles get deleted when I close the sim? Because I'm obviously downloading Ortho as I'm flying, right? Where are they going?
American 1, winds, tree 107, gust 22,
they're cached.
Between 250 and 350, runway
Oh,
1
that's
left.
right. I set up a cache, 60 gigs. That's right.
Miami Center, American 3172, we're on the ground in Miami, gate up to 14, we need...
What gate are we going?
Let's push start up to November.
American 3172, heavy Miami Center, push on to November is approved, tail east, call for taxi.
Push on to November, approved, till east, American 3172, call for taxi.
409, flying tree 40, you're 8 miles from Sailman, maintain 3000 till established on the localizer, cleared ILS 1 left.
Flight 30, maintain 3000 till on the localizer, good night as well, man.
Look at that. That bare metal's really shining now. The sun's getting high. I freaking love it, Chad.
FedEx 2187, heavy, winds 1008, RNAV elbow, runway 10 left, with the takeoff.
Where's the surveillance balloon? That's right. There is a balloon out here. I don't know. Is it modeled? I'm going to have to see. I don't know where it is. I forget. I think we're on our descent. Yep. Our engines are spooling down.
Miami Center,
Alright.
American 123 out of 20, flight level 227 for 25,000.
Seatbelt sign is coming on. Down we go.
Jetlags on the Sandbar 3.
American 120, squawk 5321.
5321, American 123.
Delta 279, turn left, heading 27 there.
Please turn your seats, fasten your seatbelts. Miami Center, American 179, level 330, 64 southwest, Key West.
Career track 69, Miami Center, radar contact, squawk 5367.
Chad, if I have a matcha before my medical, is that a good idea or a bad idea? I should probably say probably not do it.
American 123, radar contact 47 miles.
I want to move to X-Plane, but I spent over $1,000 on an FS-24 with enhancements, add-on weather engines running. I can't justify the move. Listen, man. I'm not here to sell you guys on any sim. I am here, number one, engaging with you guys, trying to hang out, see what you all want to see. A lot of you want to see X-Plane, see where it's been. So that's where the idea started. Okay, let's dabble back in X-Plane 12, and then it's like, okay, there's a couple, the level up. If you remember, Microsoft 2020, Fly-by-Wire 320 kept Microsoft installed on my PC. That's the only reason, because I didn't like 2020 when it came out. X-Plane 12, the level up is my Fly-by-Wire 320. It is what kept X-Plane on the map for me. And now that we've dabbled in the level up, and now we've got a little map enhancement going on, I do see potential. I do see potential. I look at it as an opportunity now to have multiple airplanes, or like be able to fly airplanes that I don't have in another sim. So for example, we don't have a Q400 in Microsoft, right? Well, we could maybe fly the Q400 in X-Plane 12 now as we get the sim up to snuff. We don't have a Classic 7.4 in Microsoft, so maybe we can fly the Classic 7.4 Felis in X-Plane 12 again, right? What's crazy to me, they've got this long bridge out here. I imagine there's some licensing issues with, being able to legally claim it as your own. But like, map enhancement is free. So if map enhancement was somehow included in X-Plane 12 as the default base package, so people didn't have to set it up, man, I think it would have been, I think a lot more people would have stuck around, because it does make a huge difference. But I could understand why it's not part of the base package. But it makes a big difference. And I mean, it's not done yet. X-Plane 12 is, there's some exciting updates that are in the pipeline for X-Plane 12 that I'm excited to see come to fruition. They got some stuff for changing the way displays are rendered. I think there's some assets that are going to be changing. Oh, hey, if you're not clacking, you're slacking. So I'm excited to see what happens here. We're definitely going to keep it on the map. We're going to keep X-Plane on the map.
Yeah, left 180, we'll take it again, Delta 27 there.
Vector Southwest 29. American 3172, ready taxi, runway 8 right.
Alright, there's Pamper at 23.
3172 heavy, runway 8 right, taxi via Mike.
We're supposed to be 2, yeah, we're slowing down. Alright, let's get ready. Real pilot. Whoops.
American 1816, Miami Center, radar, contact.
Cost index $1 million. $1 million. 1 million cost index, please.
American 3000.
Sandbar arrival, and we have 3000 Miami. I'm sorry, we have Miami with data subs on board. American 133.
Delta 279, expect vector to the localizer. Turn left, heading 070, maintain 4000. Still established, clear ILS 1.
There's your VSD for you VSD fans. I don't typically use the VSD on the NG. I use it on the Max all the time, though. It's good for letting you know, hey, you're gonna make that Pamper fix or that, what is that next one? Are you gonna make Haslam between 11 and 13?
Descend via the Sandbar 3
You can see your vertical profile.
East, altimeter 3000.
Send me the Sandbar 3 arrival, maybe.
A little bit high, but we're coming down.
Can I have one exiting 01 left?
Yeah, the 7-3 wing bounce while taxiing. Yeah, I love it. I like it too, man. Wobble wobble. I feel like my default view got screwed up though. See that? I gotta fix my view
Delta 279, winds 1008, runway 10 left, clear land.
I think that looks straight. That looks straight.
10 clear to land, Delta.
There we go. Much better.
Hotel India,
Maybe a little bit higher though.
Hotel India 1001, clear to the destination as filed. Maintain 3000, expect followable port Pfizer 10 squawk 2302, respect squawk code only.
Alright, transition. 30, what was the meter?
Hotel India 1001, reback is correct. Call me for taxi, expect 9 left.
3000. Alright, 3000, here comes the path. Wing lights are coming on. Low lights can stay off. Let's go ahead and get fixed lights are coming on and chime them. Actually, no, wait, hang tight on that. That recall is checked.
2948 Miami Center.
Alright, hydraulics, engines look good.
For taxi.
Descent checklist complete. Agent Johnson, no, I believe that's a part of the terrain function of the Zebo plugin, I think. AJ knows.
American 3172 Heavy, roger, your winds, variable at tree, RNF, sea salt, runway 8 right, clear for takeoff.
RNF sea salt, 8 right, clear for takeoff. American 3172.
RNF sea salt.
American 123, say Mach number, if that applies to you.
Mach number.
American 123 is Mach 20.
I just wish we could fix this.
69, say Mach number.
Doesn't matter what airplane you're on. It's a, I don't know if it's an AMD thing or an anti-aliasing thing.
69, roger, may it reduce to Mach 0.78 until Sandbar.
From 0.78 till Sandbar, correct, 69.
American 123, maintain Mach 0.8 until Sandbar, and Sandbar resume published.
My view got all jacked up. Can't fix it now.
Maintain Mach 0.8 till Sandbar, then publish speed after Sandbar, American 123.
Riding the brake a little bit, typical NG.
Miners have their good afternoon, November 30 Sierra Michael Western taxi in Paul.
American 357 at Bosnia, Hotel on board, expect ILS 9.
We have hotel, expecting ILS 9, American 357.
2300 Mike, runway 9 or left, taxi via November.
Use auto brakes max yet? Experienced that for the first time the other day. It's not comfortable experience, but it'll stop you quick. Yes.
Mexico 646.
Yeah. Where'd you use them, Sam?
ILS 9, we've got hotel 9, Mexico 646.
SMA. Talk about the nose coming down. Oh, LGA wet. Nice. Nice, dude. Cardboard box.
2725 descend and maintain 3000.
Descend to 3000, American 2725.
American 5488, descend via the Bonefish 3 arrival.
Looking for 250 for Haslam.
3000.
On the path, we're looking good. Just that nice little wow. So good, man. There's somebody said it. They said it's a visceral experience flying the level up, and I couldn't agree more. It's a good way to explain it. It's just there's a visceral experience in the level up 7.3. It's a whole lot of fun, man.
Hotel India 1001 runway. Follow the let's do this. Follow the citation 10 out of the.
I think I haven't used auto brakes in over a year. Good on you, Turks. All right, here comes 10,000 feet.
172 radar contact. Climb and maintain flight level 320. Say altitude.
Contact 320, passing 1,600 now for.
All right, descent checklist, please. Descent checks. Altimeter's 300 set.
357 cross leg at 4 cleared ILS 9.
Cross leg at 4, clear ILS 9, American 357. Let's see. Approach briefing's complete. Seatbelts are on. P8's complete. Recall's been checked. Auto brakes 3. HUD's in op. Radios and displays. Hold it there.
Delta 279. Have a good day.
And the aircraft trying to call Miami Center. It's very quiet. I can get the call sign. It's about a 1.5 overall.
Vodka, are you in? Oh, you're on the PMDG?
Definitely 1960 to Jacksonville's offline change to advisory period.
Advisor can blow on this. See ya. Delta 316 stands for Key West with Bigfoot 9 for Catlin Station.
Delta 2816, Miami Center, Python, first stand by your number 1.
Bare metal coming into Miami, man. Classic.
It's 3 by 5.
The app is
now.
162. Good night. I'm thinking of picking up the Honeycomb Bravo you have with the different throttle handles you got. Graviation, yeah, that would be I highly recommend. Highly recommend that.
646 reduced to
Oh.
250.
Miss V1 sir, stand by. Still fucking.
American 350, actually just occurred. American 2725, turn right, heading 360, descend and maintain.
Unacceptable. I wanted a wrap. I got the
2500,
chicken salad box, chat. Unacceptable.
2,500, American 2725.
Shh. Sterile cockpit, babe. Sterile cockpit. No talking back there.
American 357, reduced to 210 for traffic.
Was that 200 knots for American 357?
210.
210 American 357.
American
210.
123, advise for Nave Hotel, expect ILS.
All right, below 250, flaps coming to 1. Here we go.
Hotel on board and expect ILS runway 9.
We have hotel on board.
American 2948 on spot 2.
All right, let's open the speed window.
American 2948, runway 8 right, taxi via Mike.
Lock it in 210. We're cleared for the approach. LNAV, VNAV, VNAV path. Set in S 1500 feet, please.
Maintain 2,500 till established.
1500 feet is set. Remember, we're going to fly this in LNAV VNAV. This is not a coupled approach. You're not authorized to fly this coupled up.
46 cross leg, 5,000, cleared ILS, 4,000.
So you can fly it in LNAV VNAV,
Like 4,000 cleared ILS.
but you can't arm it and fly it in LOC, which, I mean, you're not supposed to do it, so don't do it. Freaking feds in the chat.
1742, level 360.
I don't know. I think it's because of the crossing traffic on the localizer is what, or was that, or I think it was that crossing traffic. So they don't want you synced up. But that doesn't really make sense because even when you're doing the ILS critical area has it protected. So I don't know.
1740 to Miami Center, radar contact block.
I don't know what the reason is.
And who's the aircraft?
The Nimbus MIA is great FY, worth the money. I think, Nathan, I'm pretty sure we have Nimbus Miami installed, so we're about to see it together for the first time here. Time check 130. We're looking
you can contact QS departure in 124.
That's funny, Turks. I see all these Airbus guys freaking arming it up.
Can we get that frequency again? Delta 16.
124.
A train track interfering with the ILS beam. Really? Interesting, Shane. Interesting.
4.02 Delta 3.
People who like to fly for a long haul for 8 hours, what do they do when the autopilot comes on? I don't know. They read company manuals and check the fuel and systems. That's what they do.
November 230, Mike, Sierra Mike requesting.
Yeah, look at the shine now. Man, she's really shining. As we get closer, I feel like my trees are less in the swampland. Is it a VFR sim? Not really. The trees or bushes look pretty sparse. I think that's Alligator Alley, right? Right there.
Target 2250, Miami Center, runway 8 right, taxi.
Pay attention, pay
November,
attention.
Hold short whiskey.
Via November, hold short whiskey, American 32.
Target 2725, runs variable at tree, runway 9, clear to land.
There's an interesting LNAV overshoot there.
American 357, maintain 210 till grid, 170 till NS, winds, variable at tree, runway 9, clear to land, number 2.
210 to grid, 170 NS, clear to land, runway 9, American 357.
Air Mexico 646,
Alright, clear to land.
10 knots till grid, 170 till NS, winds, variable at tree,
210 to
runway 9,
grid.
clear to land, number 3.
We're doing it.
Alright, 210 till grid, 170 till NS.
XP's in the house. XP, I blame you. Sorry for the ear blasting. I blame XP for me wanting to do some X-plane flying again.
Black 178, we're level 390.
But how good is the level up, XP?
Aircraft
Isn't the
calling,
level up pretty
center,
sweet?
what's the call sign?
Air Black 178, Bravo Lima Kilo.
Bravo Lima Kilo 178, Miami Center, radar contact.
Alright.
Via the CUDA 3,
Grid
arrival,
inbound.
Fort Lauderdale, altimeter 2999.
We are to the final approach fix, so now we can arm it. Low slope is armed. Glide slope capture. Missed approach altitude 3,000. 3,000 set. Flaps 5. I'm going to leave the autopilot on because I want to watch the flaps come out.
Double check your squawk. Verify squawking 2302. 2303, Mike, radar contact, center, JMX, climb and maintain flight level 450.
I'd actually need to gear on this one.
Level 450.
Gear down.
Air track 69, information hotel, current at Miami, where you parking today?
154.
Signature, but I'm set up for 9. That'd still be easier for me at that time.
Yeah, that's fine. Air track 69, plan ILS 9, reduced to 250 knots.
Flaps 15. Speed brake arm.
Plan ILS 9 for track 69.
American 123, reduced to 250.
Autopilot's coming off.
Reduced to 250 knots, American 123.
Flap 25.
India 1031 Miami, holding your number 109 left for departure. We're smoking till 302.
Flaps 30. Below the line.
1001, wind
Speed brakes, armed, green light, gear, down green, flaps 30, green light, 4 landing checks complete. There's Innis, 1500 checks. Alright, let's see where she locks in here. We might have to knock the speed back a few knots. We'll see.
Uniform, Papa, Whiskey November, cross.
Yeah, let's knock it back. Let's go 149.
Whiskey November, cross 12, American 2725.
American 2250, continue, Mike, turn 8 right.
Quartering tailwind, that's always fun when they're overweight. We're right at the 146 too, close.
1,000 feet, stabilized, miss approach altitude set.
Alright, my throttles. Looks a wee bit washed out.
American 123, cross leg at 4,000, code ILS runway 9.
Need blue effects, shader or something.
American 123.
It's bright. Pitch attitude looks good. Pitch powers look good. AOA's looking good.
Radar service terminated. Change to advisory privacy.
Don't need a call. Thanks for your help, Hunter, and have a great day. That was almost 6 minutes.
I know. American 123, reduced to 210.
Glide path's not coinciding, so expect 3 reds.
Hotel India 1001, radar contact, direct JMX, climb and maintain flight level 450.
Direct JMX, flight level 450,
Direct 69, cross leg at 4,000, cleared ILS 9.
Deployed.
cross flight 4000, cleared ILS 9 for track 69.
80. Manual
80
braking.
knots.
$60. Flaps up. And setting American 357, clear of runway 9. We're going to gate D46.
American 357, roger, taxi to Olympia, Tango, Yankee, November, if you need it, cross runway 12.
Tango Yankee November, cross runway 12, American 357.
Around your seat for any personal articles. Keep it right on board.
Joe 50.
American 2948, winds variable at tree, RNAV, sea salts, runway direct lift takeoff.
All right, after lands, AP's coming up. Yeah, this is the Honeycomb Bravo, but I'm using the
123, winds variable at tree, runway
what's it
9,
called?
clear lane number
Blackbird control
35
levers.
and trail of a company 737.
Yeah, still needs to work on the morning sky situation. Just very washed out. You know what I'm saying? The colors are very washed out.
Red X049 Miami Center, yeah.
But again, flight model felt perfect. 5 knots, knock 5 knots off your ref speed. That is perfect. Whatever it gives you, just knock 5 knots off. You put your AOA right in the sweet spot. What did he say? Tango, Yankee. Which we passed Yankee. Whoops.
Red X049 Miami
Sorry.
Center.
We'll flip around onto Yankee.
Air Mexico 646, welcome to Miami, right on Tango, Ultra runway 12, going to hotel or Juliet?
We're going to international, and I'm not actually sure where it is.
It's Juliet, I believe it is. For you, taxi Tango, Quebec, cross runway 12.
I gotta get back over here on Yankee.
I'm off on uniform. Can you give me a direction from here?
Mexico 646, right turn on that first taxiway that's right in front of you. And then that'll be Tango, then right onto Quebec after crossing runway 12.
Hopefully he's too busy with Team Vodka and Aero Mexico. He didn't see us do a little jump.
Right on Tango, left on Quebec, America, Aero Mexico 646.
It's called a taxi diagram.
American 2250, just hold there. His,
Alright, Tango Yankee November, cross 12.
on the other side of Adrian, he's not talking to me at all.
Clear left. You guys heard it. We're cleared to cross. Clear right.
50, hold in, FedEx 049, Miami Center.
Triple check. Some friggin' heavy lands on 12. Get a plugin called Auto Haze.
I'll get you out before he starts moving.
Another plugin? Alright, Thruset, I'm gonna have to try. X-Plane 12 and Haze has always been an issue. Gotta head back to work, Aviation. Take it easy, my man. Now, I said D46, but I don't even know. Is that on? What side is that on?
Arnav Jamba 8, right, clear for takeoff.
Yeah, it's on the other side. Okay, we'll go Tango Yankee November to 46.
Arnav Jamba 8 for takeoff, right, American 22, 50, thank you.
Earth to FedEx 409.
Earth to
FedEx
FedEx.
049,
Where's our trim at? Yeah, right about 7 units. That's pretty accurate. Reset you to 5.
Track 69, West Variable, tree, runway 9, clear to land.
Clear to land, runway 9, crew track 69.
American 2948, radar contact, climb and maintain flight level tree 70.
Climate temperature 370, American Airlines 2948. Miami Center, United 1340.
Maybe this is default. This might be default, actually.
1340.
I thought I had Nimbus Miami, but maybe I don't. Maybe I have Nimbus Kennedy. Oh, here's November. We'll make the right turn. Is this default or Nimbus? I don't know.
Yeah, that's a 43. We did not receive a PC.
Okay, let me, just a second.
Ooh, look, there's another bare metal mercant down there. Alright, APU is on the buses.
Back at 123, welcome to Miami, Zipper.
You can kill
Delta
2.
course for American 123.
Back at 123, Roger, taxi to ramp via Tango Yankee November, cross runway 12.
Tango Yankee November, cross runway 12, American 123.
American 357, I'm going to send you on a mission if you're capable.
Let's see, what do you got?
Okay, so you see the FedEx that's on the runway? Little effect or whatever you set up.
No, I actually don't see a FedEx on the runway.
So it's a tiny airplane. It's Cessna 208.
Where's he at? 8 left?
He's rolling 8 right now, passing Zulu.
Oh yeah, I see him. I see him. Oh yeah, he just got airborne.
Okay, switch to 22.8. Tell him to contact me. I've already sent something to a soup, but there's no one online.
Okay, roger that.
Miami, good evening, FedEx 049, to Salon, Kilo Mike, India, to Kilo Mike, Charlie, Oscar, to Pali.
There he is.
And there you are, FedEx 409. Please land your airplane, go back to the ramp. Why did you move without talking to me?
Oh, at 46 is right there.
Go to the ramp.
Miami Center, good morning. This is Speedbird 3 Golf, passing flight level 310 now, descend to flight level 100.
River 3 Golf, Miami Center, squawk is 0045.
Single engine taxi is pretty good on this thing too.
Speedbird
Alright, here's D46. Hydraulic light, that's normal.
American 22.
Stop. Nope.
Airborne. Leaving almost 510 1.
American 22, K50, radar contact, climb and maintain flight level 210.
Fine, maintain 210, American 22.
Aircraft on my frequency, standby 1.
Center hello, Dan Delta 316, passing 8,700 for 160. Now, direct buffer.
Delta 2816, Miami Center, climb and maintain, flight level 350, little bit of fun.
Climb maintain 350 on the range is 16.
2 inches short. AJ's problem. Alright, here we go.
Delta 2448, Miami
Chop
Center,
one.
squawk 4616.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to
And all
Miami.
aircraft on my frequency, standby 1, controller briefing in progress.
Alright, let's go ahead and disconnect. We'll watch the replay. And then I gotta get out of here so I can go get my medical done. So, overall, I think that was a pretty dang good flight, man. I love the single engine taxi mechanics on this thing. It felt very, very good. Let's go right into replay mode. Let's assess our landing. I think the sweet spot is right now, until they fix that CG and the EFB that they were talking about, if you're going to be trying out the level up, add 1 unit of trim and then just take 5 knots off your VREF. Ooh, look at the that's Simhaven down there. Okay, that doesn't look all that bad. That doesn't look all that bad at all. Yeah, I disconnected. Okay, look at the variety in buildings. All right. I need a dehaze, and we need to continue to fly in low light conditions only, I think. If we dehaze and do low light only, well, it's still not bad though. It still looks pretty good. All right, let's see this landing. Perfectly acceptable. We were right at max landing weight by the time we touched down. Perfect. I swear. That sound, though. Sam, you got to try the level up in X-Plane 12 just for the landing characteristics, dude. I'm telling you, man. Hold it off. Let the wing flex it. A little bit in the crab. Could use a little bit more right rudder. We found it with the right main first. And then the left main. Look at that nose coming down on auto 3. Yeah, there's no catching the nose on auto 3. A little bit of flap wiggle. Flap wiggle. Look at that. Well. Love the sound. We took that high speed a little fast. It made myself nervous. It made myself nervous on taking that high speed at 80 knots or whatever. But I mean, overall, what an impressive flight, because we had the performance from the real data matched almost exactly. We had very realistic behavior on the takeoff roll, the performance in the climb. Landing was pretty much spot on the money. I'm having a ton of fun with it, man. If you want to just, you know, freshen up your X-Plane 12, be sure to check out the Level Up 7.3 because it's free and it is unbelievable that it's free. Sim is looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good. I'm going to continue to tweak it. We'll probably see some more X-Plane 12 next week. But until then, we're going to be L1011 long haul this evening, most likely. huge shout out to the Level Up team. I mean, these guys are really making something special. Really, really making something special for a free airplane, for a freeware. I cannot believe this is freeware. I cannot believe it's freeware. But I hope you guys enjoyed the flight. I sure did. I will catch you all later this evening if all goes well. There is a small chance we may have to delay it or push it back, but I'm really going to try to get back in time and get that flight from Kennedy down to Fort de France. We'll be in the L1011 in 2024 on IVAO. If you want to fly along, we'll be on the IVAO network flying down to Fort de France. So until then, y'all stay safe, stay healthy, enjoy the replays. I'm V1. We'll catch you on the next one. See ya!